This always gets me fired up.
Right?
I thought several times about making a new one, but don't fix something that isn't broken, right?
I know what that's like. I agree.
Yeah. Um, what's up, Katie? Thanks for coming.
Hey,
What is up, son? How you doing?
hey, all
You
right.
you're gonna get yourself in trouble, man. Just playing with you. Thumbs up. Thank you, man. She polices this thing like I used to. You remember how I used to run through here and police this thing, going, "Give the thumbs up, don't forget a like." We got 17 people in here. There's only 15 likes.
Right.
She's been doing that for me the last couple of times. I really appreciate it. Originally,
Yeah.
we were supposed to do a show. Me and Katie were going to do a underrated show, which is something I've been big on here the last couple of months. But she had a headache, wasn't feeling good, so I said that's cool. We'll just make it another time. So I
Yep.
decided to do Chainsaw Massacre, watch along / commentary / discussion with a couple of surprise guests.
Yeah,
So
man.
looky here, we got a surprise guest right off. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
What's up, Ninja? Now, Ninja,
Hey,
tell me, is it pronounced Ginja or is it Jinja?
Ginger.
Is it? Because I've been calling him Ginja for 2 months and he hasn't corrected me not one time.
It's ginger. It
Is it
definitely
Ginja?
it is.
What? How do you know that for sure though?
Well,
Because I mean,
because of the many conversations that we've had, plus when I hear him pronounce it.
I've never heard him say it.
Yeah.
I've never heard him say that. Damn it! All
Um,
this time and everybody's just been going. We everybody's like, we just won't say that.
yeah, right.
We'll just let him say it how he wants. It's good. Thought it was the accent. Oh no, I just can't read, man. It's all right. Yeah, we're talking about. I've got a ton of crap here to go. As long as we're on Tobe Hooper. Oh, first of all, let me show this shit off real quick. A couple of German media books. Now, I said something the
Oh,
other night. I said I didn't like Prom Night. That isn't exactly accurate. I said I didn't like Prom Night in comparison to Terror Train. That's what I meant. But it's a German media book. Beautiful artwork.
that
Got a
is awesome.
great deal on these two. It's 3 disc. It's from Coach Media. And does anybody know what this is? Do anybody pronounce this?
Oh, that's Funhouse. The
Yep.
Funhouse. Yeah, I
Yes.
love that movie.
Oh, yeah. I thought while we was on the subject. And
Now, for that
something
prom night, those 3 discs. What are the 3 discs for that prom night? Is it special features on one and the movie on another? And
actually, for the first time since Arrow released it, I'm glad you asked that. First time since it released it's a Blu-ray DVD combo.
oh,
Um,
okay,
and then the third disc is special features. I think it's the first time since the Arrow window release that I've seen this kind because if you get, I do believe on the Screen Factory Funhouse, I don't think it has a whole lot of special features. Not like it does here, but this has got 2 or 3 different featurettes and everything else on
nice,
it.
nice.
It's got
That's cool.
got a trilogy of terror with Greg Reardon, 18 minutes. It's got Carnage at the Carnival with Tobe Hooper, 16 minutes. Miles of Mayhem, 21 minutes. Basically speaking about Sir Miles, I believe. The Barker Speaks with Kevin Conway. You know the Barker that plays all the different roles.
Nice.
Classic Irish actor, Kevin Conway, and that's 11 minutes. And it's got just it's the most I've ever seen on a Funhouse.
That is cool, man. That is cool.
Speaking of Tobe Hooper, those of you who know, I'm sure most people knew that he did it.
Lovely. I love that movie. I've got that
Just
one.
transferred it. Just transferred it from DVD to Blu-ray.
Nice.
And of course, I have Poltergeist, but I don't want to get into a rant, so I won't go on the Poltergeist. I don't want to go on a Spielberg Hooper rant because I'll stick up for Hooper all day. A lot of people say a lot of things about that I don't agree with, and you know how I am.
Yeah.
I'll get on here and be like, fuck that. And I'm trying to be nice. MC, so thank you very much. But yeah, I wish you'd have told me a long time ago, man. It's completely cool, okay? I understand. Yeah, you told me about going to the hospital. That sucks.
Oh,
Ginger, okay. Oh, the red. Okay, I get it. I said, well, I get it. Okay, I'm catching up here, trying to be a little bit better at this because some people don't care about it, but I do. I like to pay attention to it,
Yeah.
see what I've got coming from the UK. Excited. Ooh. Hey, what's up, Prism? Thank you.
Hey,
Yeah, man. Yes,
Katie.
absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, Katie, you're all right.
Yeah, she's one of the sweetest, most genuine people I've met on here, man.
Yeah,
Really.
she is. She's good people.
Yes, she is. Really, really, really nice. Um, glad I met her and glad that we became friends because for the first few months she was around, I think she come in when I was taking that hiatus, and I think that's why I missed her, maybe.
Yeah.
And then I come to find that we kind of went around in the same circles a bit.
Yep.
Um, let's see, should I show like half before I start talking about this movie and playing this movie, or what should I do? I got tons here.
I can only imagine.
I got the old McFarlane leather face that comes with that. I can
Oh,
fly.
that's cool.
This is the old one. This is the first one from McFarlane when he first started to figure it out. Here is the NECA. I don't have Mezco yet. It's still in pre-order from Big Bad Toy Store, so I'm waiting for it to come in.
Nice.
It's also Leatherface. Yeah, it's insane. This, of course, is from Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yeah. Nice.
Everyone knows who that is. Chop Top. Oh, this is the Hitchhiker with Nubbins, also.
Ah, nice. That is awesome, man.
He's got his camera and everything too. This is the limited edition Black Maria. That the back opens up. It's got all that extra special stuff. It's got all that shit. Really
Wow.
cool.
I've never seen that one.
Yeah, Phil showed it off a couple times. It's just it comes with the I can't think of it right now. Let's go to that. Yeah, it was a little. I'm not sure what it was limited to. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And it came with this with a special edition that I gave to Drake, as a matter of fact, so he would have Chainsaw Massacre on Blu-ray because I
Nice.
believe in spreading Chainsaw Massacre around. I want everyone to have it. Now, what do we got
It's a
here?
classic.
Oh man, it is in my top three at any given time. You talk to me, it's in my top three. To me, it feels this movie. To me, it feels when you talk about a real feeling, you talk about the feeling about a movie like, for instance, with Henry or Maniac that you got to shower after. This has
Yeah.
got that feeling, but it's not as dirty as it is just haunting and real. And like to me,
Yeah.
it feels like you're watching a snuff movie.
Yep.
It's like, it pisses me off when I hear people talk about Marilyn Burns and how I've heard a couple of different people say, "Oh, her acting is overdone." It's like her acting, I think, is spot on, terrifying.
Me too, man. I think she did a hell of a job. And especially that final act, that final third of the movie, that last 40 minutes or so, 45
Yeah,
minutes.
to
Man,
me, still the best.
she went through an emotional roller coaster just filming that stuff.
That's why she's laughing at the end in the back of the truck. She's so happy
Yeah.
that it's over. You know what I mean? She's just
You
so
can't
happy that
blame
that's
her,
over. And that wasn't
right?
even the last time they had to call her back in, so that wasn't even the last time. She got to go back just enough time to get over it and be like, "God, I'm glad that's over." So they say, "We got this one," But
Hmm.
yeah, it just goes to show that you really have to, in my opinion, I mean, I understand keeping the actors and everything comfortable, but in the long run, you get a lot better performance if you suffer for your art. You really do,
Yep, it's true.
one way or the other.
I agree. I agree. It's crazy,
And
man.
something else I noticed is a lot of these people from this film are gone now.
Yes, it's true, man. Unfortunately.
That's the one. It's the one thing I didn't like about the new Chainsaw Massacre. I really wish she could have played that part, and I truly believe if she couldn't have played it, they shouldn't have brought her into it. They should have brought the character in
Yeah.
because
Well, and not only that, but I really think that I didn't hate it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people,
I didn't.
yeah, a lot of people thought it was going to be an absolute crap show because of all the stuff going on behind the scenes when they were filming it. So I was actually shocked that I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Good practical effects, good kills, except for one thing, and that's Sally.
Yeah,
And I was so I couldn't believe it because I was looking forward to seeing hopefully them do justice to her. And it started out okay. She had that one scene in the field that was creepy, but then they just totally the ending for her was like, why even bring her in if you're gonna do her like that?
Right.
Character wise. Not to
I
mention the
heard
fact
Eric
that
talk about
Marilyn
that.
isn't with us anymore.
I heard Eric talk about that, and he had a good point. Um, it was cool that they brought her in. Like, you expect her to kick ass and she might wipe out Leatherface, right? He thought it was more realistic that they brought her in. She comes in here, she's wasted her whole life just trying to
Right.
get her chance to get back at him. And then realistically, it turns out she lost and got killed instead. She ended up
Yeah.
losing. I can see his point too, but I did find it really anticlimactic for her. I felt she
Yeah.
deserved a little.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree.
I can see his point, but at the same time, if you love the character, it just goes to show that we love that character maybe a little more.
It's true. It is so
I've had,
true.
how you doing? But yeah, man. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I totally agree, and I really wish it
Yeah.
could have been her player. I
Yeah.
didn't. I found out later when I was doing the Final Girl Spotlight on her that I haven't finished yet because the audio was screwed up. But that's one. It's one I don't have up there, and I really want to get that done. But
Yeah.
that's when I found. It's been months ago. That's when I found out how long she had been gone.
Yeah. 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 It's too bad, man, because she was very special in a very special movie, and that says a lot, especially, because there were so many, obviously Gunnar was a standout. Everybody in this movie was a standout, but Marilyn, she was special in that portrayal. I mean, as a kid, when I saw this movie, always had this haunting image of her
Just that
screaming
look.
and that look, the eyes, the close up on those beautiful eyes of hers, and
Yes.
it haunted me. And one of my favorite, or I should say, one of the scariest scenes is when she comes face to face with Leatherface, and he's chasing her through the field, and it feels like he's literally that close
Yes.
behind her with the chainsaw going, and he's a big dude and running. I mean, that still gets me to this day. When we watch it, I'm still going to be like, oh, it's crazy.
Yes, she didn't fall down a bunch. She did not look back because she was just looking to because she didn't have time and she knew it. Because
That's right.
during that chainsaw, she could tell he was way too close, and she was just so
Right.
terrified because she knew she did not think any more than we did at the time that she was going to make it.
Right. Yep.
He really close enough at one point he could have reached out with that chainsaw
Oh
and
yeah.
got her.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, yeah, you talk about the characters. I happen to like Franklin. I happen to like Palpatine. For some reason, they treat him like he's the Jar Jar Binks of this movie, and I love him. I think he is brilliant in it. I think he gives it something it wouldn't have had otherwise.
It's a charm.
Come on, Franklin, be a real nice treat. And I love the numerous raspberries he gives. I think that is fantastic.
I think he balances out the the vibe of the film because everyone else is obviously more serious, and he has that presence, a little bit of a comedic vibe going on, and you need that in this movie. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely,
Because
definitely.
it's so grim. For a lot of this film, you need Franklin to balance it out. So I don't have an issue with him either. I've never understood all the hate for him.
I like him, and I think he sells it so well. I mean,
Mm,
at one point, the dude playing Kirk just like laughs, and he says, "Man, you're as crazy as he is," because
yep.
they feel like they actually know him, and that they're used to him acting like this. Like
Right.
when he goes down the hill, he gets
Yes.
really dramatic about it. Puts that laser like he's knocked out and everything else, yet he's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
He's just one of those, and it makes sense because someone that spent most of their life or all their life in a wheelchair like that, if you get the right personality with them, they would be dramatic about it. They would
Yeah.
sell it to get that extra attention. So
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense.
I agree.
There's is the old VHS of the original Tinker Bell.
Ooh. Oh, that looks good, man. Wow, that's in
Nice.
pristine condition, man.
Oh, here, check this out.
Ooh, nice. How long
Check
have
this
you
out.
had those VHSs?
These were my older brothers that passed away here about a year ago. He left me,
Oh,
so
wow. Cool, man.
um, a lot of them he left. I had Halloween, a couple others. Of course, I had Halloween, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, But yeah, he left those to me. Lots of them: Burial Ground, Mother's Day, The Exorcist, on and on and on. And Nightmare on Elm Street 1 through like 6.
Wow.
There is all DVD of Chainsaw Massacre 2. Yeah, this is the what they call it, the gruesome edition. That's right. This was as
Nice.
good as far as this movie goes for a long time. It was the Scream Factory. Don't have the 4K from Vinegar Syndrome yet, but believe it, it's on my list. And then this is that so wanted, so desired Arrow collector's edition, limited edition Chainsaw Massacre 2. Everybody wanted it for so long.
Nice.
This was the be-all end-all of this set for a long time. Of that movie, that was what you had to get for a long time.
Very cool.
All right. Do you have a way to watch for a few minutes, or are you just gonna listen on the bullshit?
How whatever's good for you, man. I've got my.
Do you have a way to watch too?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, all right. Well, if you're ready, if everybody else is ready, gonna watch it. Oh, by the way, it is free on Tubi and it is on Amazon Prime as well. Tubi's like the shit with that, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
What if the ads? Tubi'd be perfect, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I know exactly. But yeah,
So,
I like Tubi.
I gotta turn that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you watching on Prime or Tubi or?
No, I've got my copy on Vudu.
Oh. Yeah, this is yeah, I'll get into my Tobe Hooper Steven Spielberg rant another time. Of course, everybody knows John Larroquette does the intro, the narration here. He did it for I think a couple of joints or something like that, or dime bag or some shit.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
This is back in the time, made in the time where pop was just, you know, what I mean, you still have what was left of the hippie generation and the free love, and they was going to see a Leonard Skinner concert.
Nice.
So it's like, you know, Leonard Skinner. You talk about a band that. Can you imagine what they would have been if they wouldn't have had that plane crash?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
They had 2 or 3 albums, and they're like the James Dean of music. You know, they had 2 or 3 albums that they were like huge.
Yep, they were, man, and rightly so.
Yeah.
August 73.
I was 2-3 months old. August 73. I was born. I'm a Taurus, so I was born May 14th, 1973.
Oh, okay.
Good stream. Thanks, Backer. Thanks for stopping in. Give me that thumbs up.
Hey.
Yeah, it's just. I need to set up some kind of a headphone thing so I can have one here, and you know what I mean. But for some reason, this 4K TV I have in here doesn't have a headphone jack.
Oh man, that's rough.
Yeah. This is the edition that I have. This is the 4K newest one. This is the Turbine. This is that one that has like the 4 different covers, and there's only like 200. How many is there each here? Like 250 each of each of these.
Wow.
This is the newest 4K. This is the ultimate edition of it. It's basically still good. And it's got a book with it. Yeah, this thing, I didn't get it on pre-order because pre-order sold out in like a half hour. So you know what I had to do from there? I had to bite the bullet because I really, really wanted it. So I found the best deal I could find.
Yep.
Off the landlord. Where all the sharks are.
Badly decomposed bodies.
It's really cool. It's just so. I mean, they're out there in this August heat in Texas, so you can imagine. I'd be a lot of people coming to collect that.
Right.
I love the fact that Chainsaw Massacre 2 has gained a new life in the last few years. I love to see that happen. In a way, I think horror is stronger now than it ever has been because a lot of people are giving a lot of movies a lot of chances and a second look that they didn't get before.
Yep.
10, 15 years ago, Halloween 3, Exorcist 3, Chainsaw Massacre 2, none of them would be getting the love they're getting now.
Yep. Absolutely.
Shut this down and go into movie mode here.
I love the title card, man. It's just everything about this is creepy.
Yes. To me, it just feels it's got a real feel to it. Like these crazy fuckers feel like crazy fuckers. I mean, I totally believe it. Like, besides Henry, this to me, this is the most real feeling movie. Maniac 2, but
Yeah. Yep.
these look like real people. They don't, they look like real people you come across. Like you're driving down the highway and somebody's hitchhiking. There's a good chance you might see somebody that looks like this.
Yep.
That's why people don't get picked up and everything.
I know, man. What a cautionary tale. I'm telling you.
Yeah. You don't see many horror movie fans picking up hitchhikers. It just, because a horror movie, chances are it's not going to turn out well.
That's right.
The horror movie fans are like, no, I don't think so. Do you see that guy? I always wondered what that was all about. Talking about that chick, and they took her to custody and no explanation for the attack.
Yeah, yeah.
That was originally going to be a horse. They come across this dead horse on the highway, and it was decomposing. And Robert Burns wanted to use that, and they said no, they can't do that because they like the animals and everything. So they come across an armadillo or whatever, and they want to squish it and all that. And he was like, no, don't do that. I'll just do a taxidermy thing on it, and we'll just have it dead, bro.
Definitely sets the tone, man. There's no doubt about that. And there he is.
Yeah, I think here he goes. Now why this semi going by causes him to go down this hill, and I've known a couple of really dramatic people in my life, and the way he tumbles down and the way he falls down like he's completely unconscious at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen people do that kind of crap.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Me too.
And it's like, dude, come on. And then all of a sudden something's happened there, and they're right up with it's like it's not going to go use completely unconscious. Where you at right now? The semi's just now going by.
Yep, and there he's going down the hill.
Cool. Yeah, we're right on.
Oh,
yeah, I love this tumble. He just he's unconscious. He's just like.
Oh, shoot.
I mean, you'd have thought he was completely out.
He was, man.
I think part of Bill's problem is that he just bitches and complains just all the time.
Yep.
He's got that candy bar as hot as it is. I hate to think what shape it is.
You can literally feel how hot it is in these scenes.
Yes. Why this dude's got a long sleeve shirt on is completely beyond me.
Right?
What are you doing? I don't care if it is that polyester. I don't give a damn. I got it, yeah. They're doing a lot of things now with that house. They're actually doing, for one time it was just a restaurant, but they're actually doing related to Chainsaw Massacre with the house now. They've got a van that looks just like that comes through and people can ride in, all kinds of shit.
Wow, that's cool.
I would like to. Now she's great in Eaten Alive too. The next movie that Tobe Hooper made. That's an interesting show. Remember, she's the wife of the dude from I can't remember his name. He plays one of the doctors in Silent Rage.
Which one? Which movie is it?
Eaten Alive.
Oh, dang, man! I haven't seen that in forever.
Where he feeds the guest to the crocodile and shit.
Yes.
She's in that, and she plays she's the wife, and it's her and her husband, which is played by the guy with the glasses, that gets killed in the hallway there, that long hallway in Silent Rage. He plays her husband. I can't remember his name. But he plays her husband, and they got a kid, and all they do is argue. And at one point, he's just like, and it's weird, that movie is, but it's good. It's the one that's got a young Robert Englund at the very beginning.
Wow. Okay.
That's where the original line of My name's Buck, and I'm rearing the Buck. That's where that line first came from. Was Robert Englund in that movie?
Okay.
Quentin took it and, of course, stuck it and killed Bill.
Right.
Each French Chainsaw Massacre 2. Oh yeah, it's got a lot of things to it that I felt it was really smart for them to go that way because they couldn't recreate this kind of drama and tension.
No.
Took a lot. It failed. It bombed, but it's cool that it's got a second life, cult life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't believe it's anywhere near as good as this one. A lot of people disagree, but I just think this one's a lot better.
Yeah, man. This is the classic. There's no doubt. No doubt about that.
Oh, looks like we got somebody else here. I did not hear that. I did not hear that click, man. I'm sorry about that.
Hey.
What's up?
Hey,
Man?
what's up, man? How long you been there?
Just like a few seconds, not too long.
Oh, okay.
No.
I see. It didn't make that noise like it usually does. I was like, damn. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Doing good,
Pretty
man.
good,
Doing
man.
good.
Nice. I busted out a TCM and I haven't started it yet. So
Nice.
We're
We're just
we're
getting
here
going
at,
on it.
We're at the part here where they're in the van. We go boom, boom. About let me give you a time here.
10 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yep, I'm 10:07. Yep.
okay. I will let me get set up here and I will ask you again in a few seconds where you guys are at.
Okay.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, man.
Good, man.
Good. Did you see my Did you see me show off these media books? I got a great deal on these, man.
I did Funhouse and Prom Night, right?
Funhouse
Yeah.
was the one that I really got open. And you wouldn't believe with both of these, man, it was like $35. So
Wow.
couldn't turn it down. I jumped on it.
Yeah, I would too.
And it was that Funhouse one, man, that really got me.
Nice.
That's a cool movie. Did you pick up the 4K of it?
The Funhouse, no, not yet, but I have that on the list. I'm not allowed to get too many things this close to Christmas. If I get too many things, they get stuck back in the Christmas part.
All right, what's their timestamp right now?
11:20.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone say something when you get to 12:10, and I'll hit start.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, we got like 30 seconds.
Yeah, we kind of got like a rule here that if it's too close to Christmas and you start getting too much shit, you got to put it back in the Christmas file and wait for them.
Mm-hmm.
I invented that rule and it turned around and fucked me over too.
And there you go.
You got to be careful what rules you set in your house.
Ain't that the
people
truth?
Turn around and go, yeah, but you said.
Right? All right, man. We're at 12, 12:01, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, we are exactly at the same spot, man. He was counting back and he said exactly 8, 9, 10. I don't think I've ever gotten that close on watching part of your watch room.
That's awesome, man.
I'm right here with you, dude. That worked out.
Exactly. Sure, I'll make sure I hear about.
I just watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 a few nights ago because I got that Vinegar Syndrome 4K in.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm hoping I get that one for Christmas too. Yeah. Now I know I got Escape from New York and the Fog, the Fog Steelbook 4K coming for Christmas. I'm not sure about the other.
Hey, Ninja Ninja. Hey, Dark Prison. How you guys doing? I was typing it out. Figured it'd be easier to say it. Matt, how you been doing, man? It's been a while since we've hung out.
Yeah, man. It's been a while, man. I've just been chilling, working, doing streams. The usual.
I heard that.
Yeah, man. But I can't complain though. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah, dude.
Working tirelessly.
Huh?
Working tirelessly.
The channel did what?
You go. You say it. Go.
Oh, I didn't hear what you said.
I said channel's blowing up, dude.
Oh man, yeah. It's. I mean, dude, it's just been crazy, man. But been streaming so much too, though. So it'll be time to pull back on that for a little bit.
Take a vacation at least, yeah.
Yes, well earned.
You've been working tirelessly. That's what I was saying. You know, when me and him, we were talking at the same time, working tirelessly for like the last year and a half since you started the new channel. It's been like, look, man, at least 4 or 5 days a week.
Right? It's been crazy. But I mean, it's fun too. So that's the flip side of it. It's just so much fun to do.
Yeah, you can tell you're having fun. Man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's just like hanging out, right? Like if
Exactly.
you're with friends all the time.
Yeah.
Something I finally realized. It's something I finally realized now that I just hang out and just chill. I'm having so much more fun and shit's just so much better. I stressed about this and that and this and that, worried about this and that so much that I was just like I was sabotaging myself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now I just have a good time.
That's what it's all about, man. Dude, this
You know,
scene
like
is
maybe
so
year and a half, 2
creepy.
years.
It is. You just have like no idea what this fucker's doing. You know what I mean? It's just like
Right.
they don't want to buy his shit, so he just sets it like on fire with some gunpowder. It's like, ooh, okay.
Right.
You think
The
that was
look
his
on
point?
Franklin's face.
You think he was trying to make $5, or you think he's just fucking both?
Either way, I think he was fucking with him and went to minded the money.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, hey, if they're gonna give it, I'll take it. Otherwise, they just want to terrorize him. Yeah.
Right.
I was
Yeah,
watching.
well, that's good.
I was watching TCM2, like I said, and I think a lot of people don't know that Nubbins is the hitchhiker,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and Chop Top is his like
Brother.
who was in Vietnam at the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There he is. Him and his dead self.
Franklin's
Well, as a kid,
sorry, go on.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Franklin's kind of a good sport in this scene, even though he's like the most annoying motherfucker, just a little bit.
I love him. I love him. He's so overly dramatic and ridiculous. He's entertaining. You know. I've known Franklins. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
If you guys had one of those fur pouches necklaces, what would you keep in it? Would it be tinfoil and gunpowder?
It definitely wouldn't be that. At first, I was thinking, what the hell is he doing?
Like, I'm glad he stopped pulling shit out. You know what I mean? There's no telling what else would have come out.
Right.
I don't know if that tinfoil has just been used a lot for that purpose, or if it's like from a giant candy bar, because it's like gold on one side and silver on the other.
Right.
Huh. I didn't really notice that, but yeah. Wonder if that's where they got it. Trying to think of something else that might have come in that kind of aluminum foil. Because remember, that's back in the day when even TV dinners and shit were in the aluminum, had the aluminum.
Yeah,
Right. Dude, I would have stopped that van a lot quicker.
Oh hell yeah,
Do
dude!
you think he just kind of makes a smear here, or do you think he actually makes a sign to let somebody know that, hey, you know, this is a van that I've been in? And do you think he marks it, or do you think he's just smearing it?
I think he marked it by smearing it. I don't think it was like I don't think he drew like the sign of thorn or whatever.
Well, no, I mean,
Right.
because he's guessing, because the way they talk, that they're going to stop by that filling station.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying, you think he marked it so that to let them know, hey,
Maybe.
I'm talking from a character standpoint, if they were actual people. This is kind of how I went on my Halloween, the Soul Halloween watch along that I did. I kind of went and I tried to look at it at a character standpoint, like from Michael Myers' point of view, and everybody. I tried to come at it like that and talk as if they were real people.
Right.
You know what no one ever really talks about though with Halloween is that Dr. Loomis has this little kid, right, who killed his sister, but he doesn't talk. He just stares at a wall, and somehow board certified physician Loomis like just comes up with the fact that he's pure evil based on that. Just like him sitting there looking at a wall. He's just catatonic, basically. Like, I mean,
Well, he just knows he's capable of more than that. He knows there's something going on here. You know what I mean? He's obviously capable of more than that. When he wants to take a shit or a piss, or when he wants to eat, he's got fine with that, so he's not catatonic then. He's catatonic when he chooses to be. And that scares the shit out of him.
That's an interesting point.
I just think he sort of, I think he was a little hypersensitive about the evil there. Turns out he was right, of course, but still.
Right.
I think he spent way too many years thinking about it is what it was. He spent way too many years. He got obsessed with him.
He was probably
thinking,
why the hell can't I get this kid to be like normal?
He's a fucking doctor, dude. I mean, how many like mental patients has he dealt with? I mean, they come in all breeds and sizes. Some will just eat and piss and shit as they see fit and not talk. And I don't know that makes them capable of like the purest evil, you know, like, but I always thought it was just weird that like somehow he was just like, that kid is evil. I know because I saw him look at a wall.
Well, from a character standpoint, you could also think, 15 years is a long time. So is that all he's ever seen him do? Or did he just not get a chance to get into any more of it? Is there other things he's seen, little looks he's seen, little other things he's seen him do to make him think that? I mean, 15 years is a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That's true, but like when he's explaining it to the dude, he's just like, "Oh, he's got black eyes, dude," and he stares at a wall, and I could tell that he was looking through the wall to this particular night right here. It's like,
he's just a really smart man.
Hey, listen, hold on a second,
man.
Hey, look, man, you got to do a video like that, man, because the way you just broke it down was like the total other way of looking at it. I like it, man.
Lewis is the madman, and Michael Myers is just escaping to try to get rid of, like, he's like, fuck, that dude's crazy. He thinks I'm evil or some shit.
Maybe Michael's just frustrated. Fuck it, man. You know what I mean? It's like constantly accusing your girlfriend of cheating. So finally, she just does because she's sick of you accusing her of it, you know?
Right.
Michael's like, all right, if you can accuse me of it, fuck it, I'm just going to do it.
Self-fulfilling prophecy, dude.
Right.
It's like he drove Michael nuts. He drove Michael to kill people. You know?
He groomed him from the age of 6 to become like the purest evil.
Mm-hmm.
He convinced him he was evil. He sure convinced him. That's true.
Worked pretty well. He was like the most evil until that Corey kid came along. Whew.
Right.
Tell you what.
Corey's the coolest part of him.
I wish that movie was like an epilogue and not the third part of a trilogy. You know, I wish it was like an addendum to the trilogy.
Right.
That's where they really failed, I think.
Yep, I agree. It was a good movie, but it's not a good ending to the trilogy. You know what I'm saying? Like if they had planned to do a fourth movie, then that would have been one thing. But this is the end of it, and it's like, some missed opportunities, in my opinion.
I would be curious, like when it comes out on like when like the physical media gets released and stuff, if they have like a super extended director's cut, because I think
they have to.
They have to, otherwise, like there's just no way that someone like put all that together. They're just like, okay, these are all the shots we need.
Right. I mean, there were scenes that were in the trailers that weren't in the movie.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some of those scenes were James Jude Courtney himself. It's like, why are you cutting him out of a movie where he's already minimized?
It's his last time there, and you're only going to give a tiny bit of him. You know what I mean?
I just don't understand it. I saw the look of his makeup, when he's unmasked, how he looks, how they really rotted up his face and stuff. It looks amazing. It's like, show it off at least once. It just seemed like they shortchanged James Jude Courtney so much, and it's weird, It's just kind of weird.
Sort of like shortchanged the fans, really. I mean, no one was going like, "Oh, I can't wait for Ends to come out because I need to see a new character."
Right.
I want to see the conclusion of this trilogy that was all about this other character and this other character, right?
Right.
Well, when you think about it, the trilogy's not even about Michael, really. The trilogy's about Lori and her family.
I mean, that's the other thing. Lori, and like within, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, like she's like, hey, man, come check out my granddaughter. I think you guys are going to really hook up to like, that
Right?
kid's fucking evil, man. He's got the
Right?
blackest eyes I've ever seen. Fuck that.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
And that dude, Corey, went from being bullied by band kids to being like a fucking badass, right? Who steals the mask from Michael. It's like,
Yep.
Is it just me, or is everybody in Haddonfield at that point an asshole?
they are.
Yes.
That's
Yeah, they
Everybody,
are.
it's like that whole town is just like, gee, everybody you run into, it's almost like watching a zombie movie, a Rob Zombie movie. Everybody's a fucking dick, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
they
was
made,
like, Jesus, don't they have one nice person in this town?
Right?
but and it was also like I think I see what they were trying to do, like with the transference of evil. Michael Myers not around, so but it's a little heavy-handed, and ultimately, like no one's really gonna blame her. Like she taunted him, like how she hung
Right.
out at her fucking remote property with a bunch of fucking mannequins until like someone took him over there, like
Right. Right.
She had a lot to do with the way that ended. She had the tremendous amount to do with how that. If you guys see my post on Instagram, you seen, and I did a lot of studying and looking up on it and investigating. So, I didn't speak just out of my ass. You know what I mean? I did my homework on it, and that's exactly what happened.
the
Yeah.
ending though wasn't the problem. It was the first two acts, really. That like the ending was just an ending. The ending was fine. Could have gone a
Mm.
bunch of different ways.
Yeah.
I mean, the ending again, it was just like didn't make any fucking sense because they're like, oh, here's some dude we killed. Okay, let's have a fucking parade in the middle of the night. The whole fucking town's gonna come out, like like, hey, it's fucking dude on top of a car. Let's go watch him get crushed. Sweet.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it's like,
Weird.
yeah. That's the biggest. That is the biggest lynch party I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who
And
was left after he killed everybody in kills at the end? Like 15 people he wiped out.
like, I mean, none of those dudes were just like hanging out in their house watching TV or sleeping or some shit. They're all just waiting for a fucking dead man parade to come through.
They
Right.
knew that shit was gonna
And
happen.
how did they all know? How did they all know? Were phone calls being made? You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
No, they were like, oh, dude, it says right here in the script, so let's go over here.
been 4 years. We know this is the one.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
It is, man. It's too
This makes so
bad.
much sense to me, them running around in this house like this. I mean, I know they own it all, but it makes a lot of sense to me because I love running around in places like that. I don't know about you guys, but I love to go to an old house and run around with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like urban exploring, right?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
I love that, man. I love that. This is now they act like they didn't want Franklin to come, right? Yet when he talks and goes off on his little rant, he talks like he was talked into it. So which was it?
Mm-hmm.
I think he probably is just. I think they didn't want him there.
Come on, Franklin, it's gonna be a real nice trip.
Right?
This dude does the biggest barrage of fucking raspberries I think I've ever seen. That all by itself deserves an award. It's fantastic.
Right?
He also,
He's great, man.
it's like the world record, dude.
It's gotta be.
He's watching a lot of All in the Family at that point because he did that shit better than Archie Bunker. He just He talked about how he pretty much stayed in character, so nobody liked his ass through the whole thing. You can imagine making this movie and it's so hot and you're frustrated and the whole place stinks like rotting flesh. Yet you got
Right.
this guy being Franklin on and off the camera.
Yeah, that
And
would
he just
suck.
walk around and follow you and shit when he's off camera, you know what I mean? So he's not in a
Mhm.
wheelchair. Oh my God, Eric. It's like,
He-
oh, Paul.
He was pretty convincing in the wheelchair, though. I will say that.
He practiced in it a lot, obviously. But that's not something you can just jump in there and do, man. It's a little weird when you sit. I don't know if you guys have ever sat in one and really fucked around with it, but it's kind of weird to get it, the right way. Not banging your
Mhm.
hands on it.
Yep. Here it
Here,
is.
here Real fun trip. You can see the spit flying out of his mouth. He's a sweaty, smiling guy.
That was almost like a mini seizure.
Right.
I don't think I'll be able to take you. Oh, he runs right after making a smart ass comedy. He runs it. That's karma. Bangs his hand right off the side of the doorway.
Karma.
So he talked all that shit and went off there and made an ass himself and then banged his hand. You guys think they like Franklin? Or do you think they're just annoyed by him? Do you think they really just can't stand him and they just kind of go along with him because of Sally? Or do you think somewhere deep inside they kind of like him, maybe? Just don't like he's good, rate in small doses.
Well, I don't know. It might be a combination of it all.
I don't think they necessarily hate him.
Right.
I think he's universally accepted as annoying as fuck.
He's
Right.
great in passing. It's like, hey, to Franklin, how you doing? How you doing?
Oh, man. My friggin' thing is buffering. What the hell? Damn it. I hate that.
Physical media, baby.
I know. That's the way to go.
Are you back on now?
Not yet, but I'll let you know when I am.
I paused it. He's at the doorway looking up at the phones right now, so I paused it.
Oh man, now we were so well synced, and now
Yeah.
all three of us are at different places. I've just paused it though, and
Had to happen.
I'm at 30 minutes 27 seconds.
All right, hold on. Let me see here. I'm at 30:13. Here, I'll push play till it gets to 27.
All right.
Okay, and I'll try to get mine situated, hopefully. I don't
See
know why
what
it started
phones
buffering. That's crazy.
Were those like ribs hanging?
Come on. What the heck?
27. All right. Yeah, they're right in the middle. He's got that blanket or whatever, and they're running out there to. Oh. We're gonna go have a nice talk by themselves. Just the two of them. Because they're good kids and they don't do anything else, so we're just gonna talk.
I think this is maybe a little controversial because this is my favorite horror movie, but I almost think, and Tobe Hooper is a good director as well, but I
Right.
almost feel like he made a masterpiece on accident here with this first one. You know what I mean? It's like a perfect storm.
Yeah, because he made everybody so miserable, you know what I mean? And they had so little resources that it just, you know what I mean? Sometimes it just, magic just happened, you know what I mean?
It's
Like
true.
that's why they was never able to recapture the vibe of the original Halloween or some of those, is because sometimes magic just happens, you know?
Right.
And I don't know how good the sequels to Halloween were going to be. I still would have shit on them. And I'm just being awesome myself and everybody else, because they would not have been able to recapture that magic. I wish they'd have left it at one movie.
I watched Curse of Michael Myers last night.
Ooh.
That's a pretty bad movie.
Right.
A lot of people love it, absolutely love it, and more power
I
to
hate
them.
it.
And a lot of people have nostalgia wrapped up in it too. I understand that. There's a lot of shitty movies that I like too,
Right.
but it's not a great film.
They used to do the sins of that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We we tore it an asshole, man. We went all through it, and we even did H2O, and H2O is a much better film, but still.
I like H2O.
Have
Yeah.
you done Resurrection yet?
Huh?
Have you done Resurrection yet?
Yeah, we did that last Sunday. So next we got Zombies first one. So that'll be interesting.
I need to check out that replay of Resurrection because I'm curious.
Man. We had fun with Resurrection, man. Coriander didn't even want to do the episode. I was like, we gotta do it, you know, because she hates the movie so much.
It's definitely, in my opinion, not the worst Halloween film.
What's the worst one for you?
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Yeah, I think that's what we said too.
I mean, no matter how bad a Halloween sequel gets, we'll always have Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 to like be cleaning up the mess there in the very back.
Right?
You're just not sure what's happening in it. You know what I mean? You're just not sure what's going on. It's like, what's it about?
right. Yeah, it's like it's just I don't know, man. Like, but that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to kind of like go down his own path and this and that. It's like, well, dude, you're supposed to be doing a Halloween movie, you know?
Well,
It's like
that's sort of what they did with this latest one.
true, very
Just
true.
well, we don't give a fuck what the fans are interested in or what these last two movies like led us to. We're just gonna go this direction.
Right? I know, man.
I didn't hate the film, by the way, but
No, I didn't hate it either, but I was frustrated by
still better than Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Stop buffering, son of a gun. Okay, now where are you guys at? 30 what?
27.
All right. I am going to count down. I'm at 30, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Nice.
30, 31, 32. Okay.
Hopefully this thing won't buffer anymore.
What are you streaming it on? Right?
Voodoo. Usually I don't have that happen, but I don't know. I'm in the office, so maybe it's the Wi-Fi. Who knows?
Have you guys been watching Cabinet of Curiosity?
Not yet, man. I've been wanting to get into it. Do you like it?
I do like it. I watched the. I think I have one episode left, but I watched the episode last night called "The Viewing" that was directed by Panos Cosmos, who did Mandy and
Color Out of Space.
no, not Color Out of Space. He did Mandy and
Oh yeah, Mandy. Okay,
Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Okay.
It was awesome, man.
Really? That's
I
cool.
They're making some pretty big plans here.
Right?
So what's this? So what's this thing on this? I've been hearing a lot about this new Friday the 13th series. Supposedly it's going to have a grown-up Jason in it too.
Well, they've got access to the whole series, and they're calling it a quote unquote expanded prequel.
Prequel to the original or the remake? Or?
Yeah. But I mean, prequel stories have been around since like '86, man. There've been comic books and everything talking about Pamela, Jason's father, Elias, and stuff. So that stuff's been around for decades. So they might pull from some of that source material, and they'll probably do some new stuff too, I would imagine.
So they get Miller and Cunningham involved in it, or I mean, because one owns one part and one owns the other.
Well, what happened is that this is Victor Miller's side of it, because he has Pamela and Crystal Lake and stuff like that. But one of the people from Horror Inc., which is Sean Cunningham's side, he actually is working on this this series. So that's how they get the rights to all the other shit, from what I understand.
Ooh. At least they're doing something with it, man. It's been a long time.
13 years.
It's almost like it's meant to be, right?
Yep.
They have the remake, which is cool, except for every character in it you don't like. You know what I mean? They're all assholes.
Mm.
Look forward to seeing them get killed.
Right.
Which is cool if you're just all about Jason, but you know what I mean? You want to feel a little bit of sympathy here and there, but it's hard to do with jerk off.
Right.
I think the camera work in this, not totally change the subject, which I did, but I think the camera work is just awesome, especially in this part.
Yeah.
It's iconic to me. I think the lower the sort of worm's eye view dolly shot.
Right, he captured it. He captured
Tooth.
There's
that right there tells me that I'm going to go somewhere else and figure this out.
Dude, there's something just really creepy as shit about like human teeth, especially with the roots still attached, because it's like
Yeah.
there's no good reason for this to be wherever the fuck I just found it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
this dude's just like, whatever.
he's like, man, we need some gas. And then you just look at the inside of this house, the way it looks, and it's like, well, never mind.
There'd be no way I'd be going in there.
And when he clubs him, he actually hit him with it.
Dude, that was such a scene, man. To this day, it's still effective.
He actually connected with that.
Mm.
You guys remember the first time you saw this?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Scared the crap out of me as a kid.
That was fucking creepy as shit, dude. Me too.
yeah, it's just one of those that makes it makes an impact. It makes an impression. It's like a change of life moment. You first see this, especially if you're young.
Yeah. And I saw it like at night in the dark. I was in my parents' basement and I just felt creeped out and chills all over.
Were you by yourself?
Yes.
That's all it was with Black Christmas. I was even in a strange house, and I was about 11.
Mm.
And it's
Dang.
dark. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I see it. And, you're doing the big squeals and all that shit. Doing the prank phone calls, and I was just like, oh my god! I mean, you talk about prank phone calls. Ain't nobody got nothing on Billy from the original Black Christmas.
Mm. There's that camera shot.
Yeah, right under the swing too.
Yep. You just feel creeped out. It doesn't feel right, you know?
Yeah, it's
Even if
also
you hadn't seen him just get close.
it's slightly skewed too.
Yeah.
It's the way that it's shot. Even if you hadn't just seen him get clubbed, you would still know that something was up. That this is bad.
Yeah.
Just the shot tells you that.
Mhm.
Good sound design too in that scene where when he closes the door.
And that ding. Yeah. Like it's very effective, man, especially for having no damn budget. They made the most of everything they had.
Yeah.
It's amazing how violent people thought this was, considering how bloody it is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Your mind makes up so much of it.
Like the only really gore part of it is the very beginning with the people up on the tombstone. That's the goriest it gets.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome too. I love the way they're like posed up there.
Yeah. You're dealing with somebody special at that point.
Right.
You got chicken in the. I love the extra effect of the chicken in the birthday. That's his birdie.
And there's a lot of teeth. Where do you think Tobe Hooper got all the teeth?
I don't know. I got to check into that part. I should have checked into that. I didn't think about that. But yeah, I'm curious. That's a serious amount of shit. The one who did most of this, the set design, and got most of this kind of crap here was Robert Burns. The same one that got the armadillo and all that shit.
Yeah.
So he come up. I don't know. He come up with it. With the horn through the skull mouth.
He's got like a crown of feathers too.
Yes, almost.
Yeah.
Almost a Christian. You know what I mean? Almost a Christian type thing. Almost a religion type shit. Think about it. That's an aspect that needs to be explored and talked about. Is the religious aspect of that? I mean, there had to be something to that. If you're thinking about it from a character standpoint.
Well, also when they're posed in the beginning, right? Dude's sort of like,
right, yeah. This chick is like, you mind?
Get that camera off of me.
You can get me out of this fucking cage. There's something wrong with these people.
Dude, when she started coughing and got closer to the floor, I was like, no.
that's the wrong direction, lady.
Yeah, stand up. This shot right here is just so fantastic, man.
Because
Right
When
there.
when she runs from him, she's scared, man. She's
Yeah,
scared
she is. Look at that.
because he did the kind of he kind of stayed away from him and kind of
Hmm.
kept that mystique going just to make it a little extra scary for him. So she
Right.
freaks when she sees him.
Wow,
Like
man. She's literally a rag doll.
like when Jerry comes in there, when he comes around there and he sees him, and he screams. That
Hmm.
I think he gets flipped out there.
Oh, dude.
She's just like, I want to get this out of my back, and she gets to hang there and watch him chop on her boyfriend.
Right. There it is.
I love Leatherface's character development in this movie. He's got a hell of a character arc that goes on here. You learn a lot about him without even saying a word.
Hmm.
Like this coming up here when the kids keep coming up to the house and shit, and he runs up there, he looks out the window like, oh my god, where are they coming from? Like like he feels like he's gonna get in trouble because they keep coming up there.
Yep. It's
That's kind of
crazy,
cool.
man. Yeah. The boogeyman.
Boogeyman, the boogeyman, ooh, the boogeyman.
He's coming to kill you, Franklin.
Yeah.
Even fucking with him. He's coming to get you, Franklin. No, he's gonna kill you. He's just he couldn't find us anyway. He doesn't even know our names. I gave him your name, Franklin. He's gonna kill you. Fucking dick.
Right.
Future Texas Ranger Sally Hardesty right there.
Yep.
You guys ever see Helter Skelter with her in it? She plays
No.
Sabian. That's a good one if you ever get a chance. It's one where Steve Railsback plays, man. It's a good film. Check it out.
There's
movie ever made on it.
There's a movie where Steve Railsback plays Ed Gein. Have you guys seen that one?
That's a good one too. Yeah, I got both of those.
No.
That's like Kane Hodder also did one, and that movie sucked. But the Steve Railsback one was good.
It's awesome. It's really good. It's also let's see.
It's amazing. Like, I mean, obviously, he inspired this and like so many other things.
There you go.
Yep, that's the one.
Right. Yep.
And Carrie Snodgrass plays his mother in Night. So she did a really good job. 6 heads and 10 horns.
See that camera angle too.
Yeah, I remember that.
Weird.
Steve Railsback story. It's Ed Gein and Helter Skelter. Check them both out if you get a chance. You'll like them. Especially the Ed Gein. Definitely check that out. It's a lot more accessible than Helter Skelter. Steve Railsback's fantastic. Yeah, you're right. Kane Hodder just doesn't come off good as Gein, man. Gein was a little creepy guy. You know what I mean? Perfect for Railsback.
Yeah, Railsback played him too. He wasn't like a menacing dude who was like
creepy middle-aged guy. Yeah, just like Gein was. Just an unassuming, little, quiet little creepy dude who lives by himself. That had a crazy ass mom. It's written. It's just done really well.
Yeah,
it's pretty accurate too.
Yes. Yeah, they didn't get all stupid and fantastical. You know what I mean? It just stuck with what it was. And it turned out, yeah. Yeah, I love when Flake was talking about it. It's like, man, that guy's not going to come back. He's probably afraid Kirk would kill him. It's like, who the hell's afraid of Kirk?
Right?
I didn't see anything about Kirk that make me afraid he was going to hurt me. Oh, shit, watch out. There's Kirk. That always just struck me for some reason. little things like that. Just weird little things like that. And Carter. Finally getting cool enough for this dumbass long sleeve shirt where he's not going to burn up to death.
I know, right?
It's like, you want me to wear that? It's like
Mhm.
115 degrees. Well, it's not like polyester. I don't give a damn. Give me a damn tank top with it. I love the way the lighting looks there. You can tell it's about what 7, 8 p.m. You know what I mean? The sun's just going down. You got that sun. It's just
It's like golden hour.
Right.
It's just
That was like a beautiful shot too when he was just his silhouette walking against the setting sun.
Mhm.
Yeah. Until it's just a little cooler too. You can tell. I mean, you could see that it's cooled down just a little, just like it would be at that time.
He's just like, okay, you guys, I'm just gonna walk into this fucking house.
Right.
Come on, where are you
Like,
hiding?
who does that?
Whose house is this you're hiding in? What the hell? Why am I doing? He screams like a chick, man, and it comes off so real.
Mhm.
Ah! Like the way the dude screams in Humongous when Humongous kicks in the door. Ah! That's a great scream I've ever heard from a man.
Like
You can see that movie tonight, you'll see what I mean.
About Reggie the Reckless, he had a pretty good scream. He sounded like
yeah, he did. Well, he's got an excuse being a kid.
Yeah.
Oh,
Keep trying to think of the role he played in Different Strokes.
dang.
Who was he in Different Strokes? Remember, he was Arnold's best friend in Different Strokes.
Yes.
Reggie was. What was his name? I can't remember his name.
Shavar Ross.
What was his character name in Different Strokes? Do you remember?
Oh, I forgot.
I used to watch Different Strokes religiously when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, back then you had to, if you were gonna watch anything, you had to do it religiously. There was only a few fucking things to watch.
You turn through the channels, it's like if it's not on, you ain't watching.
I know. Because the world don't move to the beat of just one drum.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. And we all know all the words to all of them too. That's
right.
See, he was kind of freaked out. He was like, "Oh my God, where in the hell are they coming from?" Because this place is so far off the track that they usually have to lure people there. But since their family house was so close, it was perfect for them.
Are you watching this in 4K right now, Keith?
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. You know, I mean, it's always going to be sort of green, but this scene coming up where they're back. Well, it's not coming up yet. It's when he's coming back with Sally, and they're sort of backlit by the truck. That's like the grainiest fucking scene I've ever seen in a film. It's pretty crazy. This almost looks like just static.
Is there only one 4K scan that they've kind of shared?
I'm watching the 4K that was the Midnight Classics one. I haven't watched I think the Turbine one is new.
This is Turbine. Yeah. This one seems to be.
I got the Turbine with the old school VHS cover.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the one to the side of the van. For some reason, it's just the one I wanted to get. Now, there's 250 each, isn't it?
I don't remember how many they had.
Because this pre-order sold out in like 30 minutes or less.
There was like some of the artwork I had on different releases, but I never had the that old school VHS artwork, so that's the one I picked up. I have that on like a steel book.
I don't have the one VHS. I have the Video Treasure VHS. It's got that.
Yeah, that's the slipcover I got.
Yeah, it's Video Treasure. This is in like perfect condition. I hate the way I got it. You know, I'm glad to have it. I hate the way I got it.
Man, they're in a bad situation right now, man. I don't even know what I would do.
Like, now whose idea? I mean, do you think he's right that they should stay up there?
I mean, it turns out he was right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but
really.
they would eventually just come there, though.
I mean, if their friends hadn't been killed, the thing to do is hang out there, not go looking for them. But then, of course, if their friends were in trouble or something, you should go out looking for them. So it's kind of
Right, right. And of course, they don't know either way.
And as soon as Cook and Hitchhiker gets back there, they're going to be like, now there's a couple others. They rent a van. Have you seen the van? And they would go out looking for them. So
Right.
because they'd want to cover all of them, they don't want any leaks. You think they kill people because they like it, or because they want food, or just a mixture of both? Or we just don't know, and just we just.
I feel it's just almost like I don't feel like they are organized enough to have marked this van and be like, be on the lookout for this van. I feel like everything they like, oh shit, here's somebody, let's kill them and fucking eat them or whatever, like
But
at least in this first movie.
Yeah.
Of course, later on they become like, pawns of the Illuminati. So,
Yeah, right.
I think my chat was screwed up or something. There's like 7 people here, and no one has said anything in like 45 minutes. That is, I've never seen that happen. So I'm thinking maybe it's just not registered.
No, shit. I'm looking at the chat. No one's saying shit, but it says there's 6 watching. I'm one of those 6.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? That is unusual. I've never seen anybody not say anything for this long.
Well, a lot of times, like I'll listen to a stream while I'm working, and I'll just have my phone in my pocket, so I can't really be chatting, or if I'm out walking my dog or something.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that takes care of that. Cool. You see, what's weird is I'll get done with I do these on Monday and Tuesday nights. I'll get off here and there'll be like 40, 50, or 60 did during it. But the replay, I'll have 200 and 300. It's weird. It's like people like to watch it back or use it as a podcast. Prism was telling me he likes to listen to me like a podcast. I'm thinking about doing this like on podcast type shit because I've heard that a couple of times now.
Yeah.
I think it's unusual that I prefer to watch my stuff on the replay rather than live.
Well, and it also depends on what people got going on too, because I've seen that happen too.
I always do my stuff late too.
Yeah, dude, how difficult would that be pushing him on that,
especially
in that wheelchair?
On that terrain?
Yeah.
I mean, you should.
There it is.
She really cares about Franklin too. You know what I mean? He's annoying and he gets on her nerves and he's paying the ass to her. But you can just feel that she cares. Like she tries so hard to be nice to him. Like when she got frustrated and was like, "What?" You know what I mean? She tried so hard not to do that.
This chase right here, man. This chase still holds up, man. It is unbelievable. When I first saw this, I honestly thought he was going to get her.
Right.
He was that close to her at one point,
I think this is the greatest acting performance, Glamour Girl wise, of all time. This acting wise, I think it's the best performance ever. This is how I feel about it. I think it irritates me when I hear people talk about how the acting is bad. Shit, it's like, how can you get that from that? Like, I totally believe her.
Me too.
Yeah. I mean, well, she was like, especially during the dinner scene, she was like literally just, fucking.
She falls the fuck out.
Yeah. That dinner scene, I remember I've watched this. How many times do you think I've watched this movie? Who the fuck knows? Countless times, right? And I like, to me, I'm always like, oh yeah, it's like, it's almost PG, rated PG. And so I talked like a girlfriend into watching it once, and she was like not really into like horror, obviously. But so we watched it, and I was like, oh yeah, no, it's not. I mean, it's fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's like hardly any blood. and that dinner scene freaked her out so much. She like had tears in her eyes. I was like, oh shit.
It's not for
Wow.
everybody. Like, you know what I mean? Like the dirtiness, I always compare it to like, you know, like Henry or Maniac. These kind of, they're not for everybody. Even your horror, even your basic horror fan, those particular shows are just not for everybody.
Right.
You know, you got to choose for horror fans. You got your actual horror fans, and then you got your PG-13. You know what I mean? Your mainstream horror fans. It's a lot of times it's different things.
But I think watching it with her, that was I mean, I felt bad that she didn't like. She loved Audition though, so who the fuck knows? You know what I mean? Like, but
Wow.
yeah, you know, and she loves Saw too. So this one freaked her out.
Wow.
Audition's rough, man.
I remember watching it with her and just seeing her reaction to it while we were watching it sort of made me like appreciate it all over again in a different way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm so obviously like desensitized to this shit, but
that tells you a lot that she fell out like that with the dinner scene, yet she could handle Audition. They tell you that the psychological vibe of this movie, man. It's just when she's just flipping out there and the music's going, their eyes get real big. It's just it's rough.
it's very unnerving the sound design of the dinner scene and like the macro close up of the eye. It's like super effective, man.
Hell yeah, dude. It's just got a feel to it, man. It feels so. The Audition don't come off like it feels real. It don't come off like a snuff, you know, like you're watching something the snuff from way back here. This, you know, if it was like a really well made snuff movie, it would feel like it was real because she's that convincing.
Right.
Like you feel like she was never okay ever again.
I love how she just jumped out that window, man. She didn't even think.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, EA Horror. Thanks for coming by. Nice to meet you.
What was that happened in Curse of
Friday,
Michael, right?
Friday 4.
What'd you say?
Trish jumped out of the window on Friday 4.
Yeah.
She hesitated for a second though.
And then the dog
she just
fuck you guys, I'm outie.
Yeah, and then in Halloween, in Curse,
Yeah.
What's her name? She jumped out of the window, but when she did it, it was kind of like I don't know.
What the fuck are you doing, lady? Like,
right? You got a kid.
Yeah, like she's like, outie.
Yeah. She just screamed and then Superman through the window.
I was watching it last night. I was like, that's weird as fuck.
That was actually one of the things we talked about in the episode we did for the sins of it. I was just like, what made her jump like that? You know, I mean, it was a bad situation, but you still got a kid, you know?
I know, pull your shit together, lady.
Right?
see she fell, but she didn't slip and fall down. She kind of clotheslined herself on the branch.
Yes. Here's that scene right here. Look at that, man. This is just so good.
And she can hear him behind her, so it's like she's so much into the role that she's just like going, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. Right there. Look at that. That's such a great shot.
Like he could almost reach out with the chainsaw and get her.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
She just turned just anyway. She just said,
there it is.
I think in actuality, Leatherface would be huffing and puffing on the fucking ground like a mile back. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's not running a fucking marathon with a chainsaw. You know what I mean?
Right. There it is.
Yeah.
she runs into probably the craziest fucker of the whole family.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry.
He's down there. These fucking guys.
And he's always like, "Oh, I could never stomach killing no people." And like, you know, he's a sick, twisted fuck.
He is, man.
I can't take it. This isn't right. And then a few seconds later, he's laughing along with him. It's like, all right, what's you doing, man?
Right.
I say he's by far the craziest. This guy does a unbelievable, fantastic job, dude.
Yeah.
That's a great combination. If you can mix low budget, well made, well written, well scored horror and well shot horror with good, unknown, great actors, you've got something special.
Yep.
Like great actors that nobody knows about, therefore their price isn't real high, and you can
Mhm.
get them in your low budget movie. You got mad.
Look how messed up she is too, man. She was great in this.
I'd be flipping out right now that that door's open. I'd be like, "What the hell are you doing?
I'd
Don't
be
be going
like,
out there."
close that fucking door, motherfucker. Give me something. Give me something sharp or hard to hit this fucker with when he comes in here.
He's like, he didn't see this guy. He'd wipe you out, dude. You don't even know. Lock the door. Put something against.
I mean, not that the door is really gonna, that little door is gonna, be shit against the
Mhm.
chainsaw, but
Nice shows that. Is that people in there cooking? I mean, what?
I mean, I think that we don't know. I mean, the sausage. So who the fuck knows how the sausage was made in that family?
Mhm.
I assume at least some of it is people.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think that's why it's showing it. That's why she's looking at it all funny, like, what the hell is that? But she's also thinking, oh, I don't know if I could. She's rationalizing it because she doesn't know that, this guy is who he is yet.
He just like, yeah, he's just like, oh, hold on, I gotta grab something here.
Like, it seemed like I'd be questioning why he wouldn't. Well, I just told you there was a guy with a chainsaw out there, and you had no problem going out the door. I don't know.
I know he comes back all sort of like all shucks, kicking the ground, like all smiling. Dude.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know it ain't right. Take
Yeah.
it easy. You ain't got to worry. We're just gonna eat you.
Right?
It's okay. There's no need to do that. Body's gonna hurt you.
And then he treats her like she's like a raccoon that just sort of like ran into his shed or something. She's
Right.
like, room.
Beats her with the broom. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's not even like beating her. It's just like sort of like tapping her,
Yeah.
you know?
And it just adds to the oddness of it all,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Oh, now he gets with the stick.
Yep.
You started playing. Now, some of the sequels led to that there's other members of the family in other places too. Do you think they had that in mind for this when they made this? Do you think they had in mind for a bigger family somewhere else, or do you think that's just some other people came up with?
I think by the time Leatherface Part 3 came out, they were just like, we're just going to do whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Leatherface is cool, let's use him. Viggo Mortensen, he's not famous yet, let's use him.
Mm-hmm.
Ken Forey, I actually like Part 3, man. I like Ken Forey's role.
3 was actually pretty good.
I watched 3 like multiple times in the theater. I was like, I love that. And I love the teaser for it too. When I saw the teaser.
That teaser was amazing. Yeah. The Excalibur. Oh my god.
The best teaser I've ever seen, dude.
Yeah.
I was excited to see Ken Forey because I hadn't seen him in a long time. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, because I was always such a big fan of Dawn. I was like, hell yeah, it's always great to see him come back because he hadn't been around for years. And then he wasn't around for years again.
Yep.
As a survivalist, no less.
Yeah, that's right.
And we find out their motivation in that because Ken Forey is like, well, why are you guys doing this? And Viggo Mortensen's like, because we're hungry, man.
Just a matter of fact, yeah, what do you think?
And I think starting that one too, you have this weird sort of like thing with technology that gets sort of woven in there. It comes back in like it comes back later in the Next Generation too. With you got Matt McConaughey's like remote control fucking away, like the TV remote control. It's just fucking weird, man.
Hey, Steele, how's it going, man? Thanks for coming through. Me and Steele will be on here tomorrow night. We'll be doing The Brood in our third part of our Cronenberg catalog that we're doing much longer. Next week will be Scanners.
Nice.
I haven't seen The Brood in a minute.
The Brood is nice, man. I just watched that like maybe a month and a half ago or so. Hadn't seen it in a little while before that. Yeah. Gotta love Cronenberg. Absolutely.
Yeah, it just, you know what I mean? It just struck me, and I was like, why don't we start with Kluber? Because I hadn't seen Shivers in a while. And he said, yeah, oh yeah, Shivers is great. So, we did that and Rabid, and we just decided to keep it going every other Tuesday.
I still haven't seen Crimes of the Future.
I haven't
Me
seen it
neither.
yet either. I've been waiting.
I've heard Pete Cronenberg fans say they loved it.
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah.
Like early Cronenberg fans, like the body
If
horror.
you like the weird Cronenberg shit, you're gonna like it. Is what my understanding of it. If you like
Cool.
Naked Lunch Cronenberg,
Hmm.
I still haven't seen his son's movie, Possessor, yet, believe it or not.
That is so good.
That's a good ass
No.
movie.
That's what I've heard, but I have yet to watch it. I think it's on Hulu or something. I'm going to have to watch that.
I picked up the Turbine 4K media book of it.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
What exactly is it about? I mean, what is it? I mean,
Exactly.
It's a movie. This scene, by the way, is what I was talking about with the grainy ass.
Yeah. That
Um,
dust
Yep.
kicking up.
I think all of them are, man, because I remember the Blu-ray looking like that too.
I know, but I mean, like, this is like 4K, and it's like there's some shit you just can't make. It's just it is how it is. It's texture,
Mhm.
But
The original source is just not as good.
Possessor, the synopsis is there's a group of people that are able to project someone's personality, like they're somebody, into another person's body, and they can go about doing corporate espionage or hits or whatever using
Wow.
that technology. And yeah, so that's the general synopsis.
It's like some shit his dad would have done, don't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
straight up body horror, dude.
It's really good, man.
Cool.
I was thinking to myself, wow, this is we're able to get some more. This was before Crimes of the Future, of course, but I was thinking, man, we're able to get some good old school Cronenberg again through his son.
It was really well made too. I think that was his first. It was like his debut, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Pretty cool. Yeah, I've got to see it.
You damn fool!
Yeah, he's like, yeah. He's got his he's got the
The makeup.
face going here.
I mean, the Drayton there is like a menace with that broomstick, dude. He fucking
Right.
he got Sally and Leatherface.
Whoa.
The one that really bucks the cook is the hitchhiker. He's the one that really talks back. Leatherface he's just like intimidated.
Hmm.
He's poking out like a little kid would. You know what I mean? He's not even being a pervert. He's just like, hey, we got you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, la, 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 la.
Get him, Drayton.
What is he saying? That part almost come off like kind of ad libbed by him. Like for a second he wasn't sure what to say.
Yeah.
And he just ad libbed it.
But that's because his character wanted to be pissed at him for something, and he didn't have the thing to be pissed at him for. So he was searching, like, what the fuck can I be pissed at this dude for?
I got another few seconds here. I got to cover it. He just runs around like a little child. Yeah, it's definitely a toss-up between the hitchhiker and the cook on who's the craziest something.
I mean, I feel like at least the cook can pass in public as a sane person if he had to.
If he wants to.
Everyone's just like, dude, you got a fucking raccoon around your neck or some shit with gunpowder. Fuck off.
He don't even try.
Right.
He don't even try. He just, he don't even try. Because, the one that really has to pass in public is the cook because he's got that business in him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows he's got to at least put on some kind of mask and all.
Well, he's out at the chili cook-offs and everything collecting trophies, dude.
It's very
Right.
good, yeah. Part two, the secret is the meat.
It's the meat. I love that.
Prime meat.
Yeah.
I love when Dennis Hopper comes in. He's like, "I am the Lord of the Harvest," and he's like, "Is that one of those health food places?"
Oh god. I loved it when he was testing out the chainsaws too,
Oh,
man.
I love that, dude.
And
Oh, my aching banana.
yeah.
That,
Oh Lord.
that's probably my favorite part of that movie, to be honest with you.
Yes.
The whole time the cook's just worried about that it's somebody they sent in as a spy to steal his fucking recipes. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, I'm not gonna send the police for that.
I love how they upgraded from this to like a fucking theme park in the next one. You know what I mean? Like
Right?
an
That'd be a
underground.
cool hangout, man. That would be smart.
Dude, the production design for part 2 is off the chain. That thing
It is.
Very imaginative. It was very smart. I mean, who do you think stood up and said, "Hey, I got an idea. Let's just have it at an old," you know what I mean? And everybody's like, "Wow," because who in the hell thinks of that?
Exactly.
But even just the way they did the interior with all the Christmas lights and there's weird little vignettes of like skeletons like sunbathing under an umbrella and shit. It's like, Jesus, it's amazing.
It's just weird shit, just strange things just thrown in together. That's what works. And that's really what works. When it comes to horror, if you do it right, there really is no limit. There's no set boundary.
His grandpa.
Played by the youngest guy in the show.
Right? Oh man.
Yeah, but she sees he's alive and shit. He's still on her finger. It's just like, how the hell? Is he supposed to be like, what, 120 something?
Mm-hmm. Dude, wow.
He's not too into that, to be honest. He's not really about it.
He talked about how he prepared for this role and what he was going to do while he was doing this. That's why he's doing the hands and shit like a baby. He said that's what he wanted to put it since he's so old that he's almost gotten to the point to where he's almost like newborn again. Like, you know, and that's what the actor talked about. He wanted to come off like a baby, the way they kick and move their hand.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting. That he went at it like that. She wakes up. Oh, shit, that was a horrible fucking nightmare.
Right? This was crazy.
And then here it is. She's like, oh my God.
And then it focuses. I like how the camera does this thing.
This fucking turkey or something. He looks up there. There he is.
That's just awesome. Oh my gosh.
I like that they gave her a plate too. They're like, oh, get her a plate.
Right.
Make fun of her the whole time. Just, you know, just taunt. Can you imagine sitting there being her with the, oh my God. I mean, if you put yourself in the place of the character, it's absolutely terrifying.
I feel like whatever decisions I made, I would not have ended up in that particular place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I didn't get away somehow, I probably would have been killed by Leatherface trying to fight his ass or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like her friends had it easy, you know?
Oh crap, I'm buffering again. What the hell? Come on, man.
All right, I'm pausing right now.
Yeah, you have to pause. Right as the hitchhiker's coming up to him.
I'm paused at 1:13:05.
1:13:05.
1:13:03. Okay. Well.
Come on, man. This thing is kicking my ass.
All right, 1:13:05.
What the you know that sound that people we associate it now with like flash bulbs or some shit for some reason, but what the fuck do you think that sound is?
I don't know.
Like how they actually made the sound?
I guess, or like how they just came up with the idea to use that sound, like, you know?
Because you hear that same sound in Silence of the Lambs when they got that girl there and they're running around taking pictures of her, and she's talking, and Starling is going around talking about what had happened to her and all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Every time he clicks that's that camera.
But that's not what flashes like sound like. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's a weird thing. Like,
Oh, sweet. Okay. I'm not buffering anymore. So you guys are at 113.05?
I'm at 113.07 now.
Okay, I'll count it off. I'm at 113 exactly. 113, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Wait, what comes after 17? Just kidding.
It doesn't make them stop. Who the hell is she talking to? The cook? Yeah.
He's just a cook.
Yeah, it's like, how's she expect to get any kind of anything from any of these people? Just because he shows some kind of sanity every now and then? Shows a little bit of sympathy maybe every now and then, which is not even real.
Right.
Just can't. Yeah. Can't take pleasure in.
Yeah, I know, right?
Alrighty. You got to do. Don't mean you have to like it.
Meanwhile, he's like, mocking her by screaming and like poking her with a stick and doing all sorts of fucking bullshit.
Right.
You're like, there he acts like he's all against it, but now here you start to smile and dig it and get into it.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do anything you want. Don't you understand they're not interested in that?
She's trying anything. She's just throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what's going to stick.
She's offering any, yeah. And they aren't one thing interested in anything but tormenting, killing, and eating her. It's the only thing she's got they want.
Man, her eyes, man, telling you.
She got beautiful eyes too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I always thought she was attractive.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about that.
It just keeps
You got
getting
the blood,
more and
you
more
got the bloodshot.
Jeez.
I know.
Oh.
She just
keeps
can't
going
believe.
in and in.
Yeah.
She can't believe what it is she sees. Like she can't believe this is actually happening.
Right.
This is like this is not happening. I must have just flipped that. It must still be a night because it couldn't be happening. There couldn't be a family out here that acts like this.
Honestly, horse again.
Hers don't need much.
What do you think they gave her to drink in that glass?
I don't know, man. You could only imagine.
It's like maybe like human broth or something. I don't know. It's a weird.
Oh,
Maybe it's just watered down iced tea.
Could be sun tea. Yeah.
could be.
Or some really, really rusty well water.
This editing right here, where it's just quick cuts, crazy sounds, like it's pretty effective, man.
It is, man. It's one of the best examples of it. I'm telling you.
It's like, the way he describes it at the beginning, or Kid describes it as macabre. That's just really the only word that really fits. It's just like 10 bags of cats, Talk about a bag of cats.
I like that they got Lara Ket back for the remake too.
That was cool, man.
Uh,
That was.
I think he had for a little more than just some smoke and stuff.
Yeah, right?
I imagine it took a little more than that stuff.
Yeah. He's earned it, though, at this point. Wow, look at her arm. He's got her arm all the way back. That can't feel good.
Insist on having the old man do it. He's the best killer.
One hitter.
Yeah. He said one time how many say he killed how many? And,
60.
yeah. He's like, dude, I can't do it. I cannot hold the fuck. Stop putting that.
I feel like they're trying to be reverent to Grandpa, but at the same time, Grandpa's like, "Come on, dude! It's like humiliating. I used to be able to fucking like kill these people in one hit, and now look at me."
He actually for a second there he's kind of looked up at him like,
Yeah, like, dude, what the fuck you doing?
just do it, okay? I just watch now. I'm in retirement.
Passing the torch on to the next generation. Make this shit happen.
Oh,
Oh, and it's not slowing her down a bit. She's not even feeling that shit. She's just losing.
oh. She's trying, though. I'll give her credit, man. She's a fighter.
That's more like the way it would really be. You know, you're trying to hold someone down like that, frantically trying to keep the room holding them down.
I feel like there's a few different types of people. Some people would be fully like, just acceptant of what their fate was, and then some would be like,
Look at the look on her face, man. That's just crazed, man. Oh,
Yeah, she can't believe she actually made it outside of the house.
it's like she escaped from hell. You know, it's light outside, and all she has to do is run. You know.
"That's a lady."
And the hitchhiker runs up here, and he can just tackle and run and tackle her down, but instead he's satisfied with just staying behind her and slice.
Mm-hmm.
They're much more interested in the whole build-up to the kill here. Now, you know, they make it like they only killed just to get food, but that's not how they've acted. They enjoy this.
Right. Well, and plus
Especially
they're freaking crazy. That's the other part about it too. They're crazy, and that really messes up logic. You know.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, nubbins.
He just slice and slice and slice, and with that straight razor.
He's one of those guys. He's like hyper focused, you know.
Yeah. Ooh.
Thud. Oh.
That would probably feel pretty fulfilling for her though in real life if she saw that dude get fucking run over by that truck.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And look at this. This is crazy how close Leatherface is.
Yeah.
She's this guy's like her saving grace. She's like, oh, thank God somebody besides these fuckers are around.
Right.
He just shuts the door. Like he's so tripped out, he don't even want to stay in the truck. He goes out the other side.
You would too, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck.
I'll just wrench at that motherfucker.
You can have this truck.
You could have this wrench too, bitch.
Oh yeah, it's a nice thud.
Look how close he got to him, though. Ooh, there it is.
And he's a good sized boy too. He said, I don't even want to. I just throw the wrench.
Of all the ways to use that wrench against Leatherface, would you guys have thrown it at him?
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
Shit running at me that close to that chainsaw. I don't know.
If I knew I could hit him in the head, I would. But that's a chance you take, you know.
I feel like
he gets close enough.
Big chance I would miss.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't do shit.
Like he made sure he got to at least 3 or 4 feet. Then he threw it, but at least close.
I mean, maybe he played like ball in high school or something. He was a better thrower at it.
I just think he was just playing it by ear, man. He was just going about, if that just slipped his mind, so he did. He just really wanted to do something to keep that fucker from getting close to it.
What a movie, man.
He's gonna throw that wrench, and if it misses, scream and run.
Little hysterical there towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
But if he would have missed, Leatherface would have killed him.
Yeah.
He was so close that he'd have got him with that chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, actual chainsaws, if you actually work a chainsaw, they don't cut through things, they just don't work like that.
Right.
They get off track and shit a lot. Hell yeah. Awesome, man.
Well, you can't really have a chainsaw fight, but you could saw through a human being if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, you know what I mean, and you're doing a lot of this with it, swinging with it. You're
Get him like trying to like cut open a metal door and shit.
Right?
I think straighten up here. I'm not pixeling up, am I?
Oh, there you go. Yep, I see you.
Better? Okay.
Yeah, that's a classic, man. It's a
yeah.
classic.
What's your guys' least favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie?
Oh,
Through this, I don't hate it as much as a lot of people do, but I don't know. Maybe the very last one, the last Leatherface that has Stephen Dorff in it. Or,
Yeah, that's probably my least favorite. Leatherface.
Leatherface, yeah.
Prequel, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This does have redeeming qualities to it. It does have an entertainment value. You got to admit it.
Yeah.
It's definitely it's not boring.
Nope.
That movie broke my heart though, because I loved 1 through 3 so much that when it came out I was real excited, and when I watched it I was like, what the fuck just happened here? They like
it just goes so far that you're just like, all right, pull it back a little.
Well, they made Leatherface a sort of a bitch. They gave McConaughey like a remote controlled leg. They brought the Illuminati in, and they made the dialogue's so insane, but and the characters are so stupid. But then when I watched it, when Scream Factory re-released it, and I also had the DVD, but when they re-released it and I watched it, I knew what I was getting myself into. I had fun watching Matt McConaughey be such a fucking maniac.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
But Leatherface, that's the only one that doesn't even feel like a fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
That's the one that starts with they're at the house, right? And the other members of the family are there, and the police are getting ready to go in, all that shit. That's that one, right?
That's Texas Chainsaw 3D.
3D with
which I love. Yeah, that movie makes absolutely no fucking sense, but it's fun.
Yeah, yeah. The timeline is so messed up. It's like they really come on, guys, it's math, you know.
Ben Grimm, I watched it in 4K. It's still gritty as fuck, dude. It's just it's more vibrant, but it's still like we were talking about it. That scene, where they're backlit by the truck headlights. It's still there's a ton of green in this film. There just always will be. It doesn't look pristine, even though it looks good in 4K.
Yeah.
Next generation. Yeah, you definitely gotta. I do like Alexander Daddario, but little things like "Do Your Thing," cuz.
I know.
I love it because it's so fucking stupid, dude. It's just like sometimes something is so stupid that it's endearing.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's true.
Let's see here.
That whole sequence where she's like got the Sawyer family mark on her chest and shit, just like it makes literally zero sense. That timeline just makes no sense.
No, that was the last one that Gunnar Hansen's in that one, right? When that's the last one he was in.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got several different editions of this on DVD, Blu-ray, and all. I figured I'd just show off since I got so many different ones. You won't believe. There's that one. The original.
Ooh, yeah.
This one, that's kind of like some kind of a slip. It's kind of odd thing. Here's the famous meat packing one.
Oh wow.
This is a steel DVD steel book.
I've got that one. Yeah.
It's a Blu-ray. The first Blu-ray, I think. I got this because it was cheap. It's an alright little steel book, kind of plain, but shit, it was only like $8. And then there was this one. This was the best edition for a long time.
Yeah, I've got that one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so on this side you got Leatherface, switch over, and you got the door shut.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's the turbine.
Nice.
Like I said, I had the edition that came with the Black Maria.
That's Ben Grimm's favorite.
but I gave I gave that one to Drake, like I said, so he would have a Blu-ray copy of it.
How many copies do you have of it?
Altogether, like 9, 10
Wow.
minutes. That's
Wow.
good.
You've got more copies of that than Dawn?
Do it? Hold on, let me see. 1, 2,
I'm just curious.
5, 6. Yeah, I got like 7 or 8 of Dawn.
Wow.
And then, of course, here's remake,
Mm-hmm.
the beginning, and
The
then
beginning, I didn't really like the beginning. That's pretty high up on my ranking of films that I don't love in the franchise. A lot of people love it though.
yeah,
It definitely wasn't as good as the first one, the
No,
first
yeah.
remake.
The first one was strong.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe how good that remake was.
like the Hills Have Eyes remake and the sequel were pretty decent too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
But the sequel again was a lot not as good as the Hills Have Eyes remake.
Grim
Yeah.
says, "Do you think 4K makes it too clean?" The turbine one I have not really too bad. You do like a lot of that grit, a lot of that grain in there, but you also like a lot of what the 4K brings all at the same time. So if you can get a good mix of it, which do you think it has a good mix of it, Ben?
Yeah, I think when I go to watch this, I have multiple copies too. All my DVDs are away in the closet, but I have. I always go for the 4K. It's still grainy. It still has the, it's just.
Yes.
It's like I was saying earlier. It's a little more vibrant. It's not like pristine by any means,
Right.
Mm.
Oracle 684. What's up? I have a little bit of trouble here hitting it the chat. Sorry about that. My phone has a mind of its own.
2 and 3 for me.
Yeah, I'd say two and 3. I mean, the remake as
Yes.
well. The remake was really good.
Yeah, those 4 are the best Chainsaw movies.
The remake has a different type of nostalgia for me from a different era. You know what I mean? But the 2 and 3
Right.
are just like they got that 80s, early 90s like
Yeah.
deep in that nostalgia for me. So
Yeah.
Take out the addition of Arlie Ermey in the remake, and then what do you think? Take out that whole part of it. And do you think it would be as good? Do you think he adds something good to it, or do you think he takes away from it? Do you think it didn't need it?
I think he adds to it.
I think he adds to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that they had a certain atmosphere that they were able to capture, which when I saw it in the theater, I was impressed with because I didn't think that they could do that. So the atmosphere was good. The actors were decent enough. Jessica Biel was great. But yeah, Arlie, he definitely added to it for me, man. And then of course, the way they depicted Leatherface, it was so intense, man. That final act, I was like, whoa.
What's her name in the remake? The one that was in Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows, the redhead chick one that killed herself, or whatever. No, or is she one that killed herself?
She was the witch or witchy kind of.
Yeah. No, she wasn't the girl that they picked up. She was the other two. That's right. She played almost like the Pam role, wasn't it? Kind of like that. But yeah, she's the
boy. I'll tell you what, though, that remake was so good that it ruined the Friday the 13th remake for me because I was like, Marcus Nespel remaking a classic? I'm on board, dude. I love the TCM remake. And then I saw that one. I was like, well, you just made a shitty sequel, dude. What are you doing?
Just give us a couple characters that are endearing that we give a shit about that we don't want to see get killed. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like a bunch of people that get on your nerves, and then Trent.
Yeah.
Stupendous. Your tits are stupendous, dude.
Your tits are so juicy, dude. But, bro, your tits are fucking stellar. But
oh man,
I don't know. I don't know where that came from. That's the last word that would ever come into my mind is calling her dude. You know what I mean?
Right.
like I'd expect a laughter after that. It's like, what the hell did you just call me do for you, stupid motherfucker?
I mean, no, some people just say, I mean, it's just the vernacular, dude. That's just, he just says that to everyone, you know?
Right.
But during that moment, you know what I mean? I just don't think I would ever think of calling my lover dude.
Mhm.
That's the last thing that goes through my brain.
Yep.
Call it, don't say dude, she's fucking losing, man. I'll tell you. Like, who the hell are you talking to?
Mm-mm-mm.
It's fantastic though. Trent is, even though you hate all the characters in it, Trent is by far the most entertaining. You just want to slap the shit out of this guy. And
Right.
I love his ending. Jason kills him and sticks him in the back of the truck, and then the truck drives away, and you can see him in the back of it as it's driving away. He's dead.
Yep.
It's a fantastic end for him.
I have come around on the remake. I enjoy it now for what it is, but the first time I watched it, I was pretty disappointed.
Hmm.
Derek Mears is a great Jason, though.
Derek Mears is amazing as Jason, man. He's such a cool dude. Like
He's
humble.
a fan.
Yeah.
You
He's
know?
a fan too, and that
Yeah.
helps. Just
Oh,
like
absolutely.
James Corden was, he's a fan. So I mean, you can't lose with that.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody know who plays him in the Netflix one, the newest one? That one's not terrible.
Who plays who?
And the Leatherface, you mean?
Leatherface.
Oh,
I enjoyed that one.
I forgot his name. But yeah, I enjoyed it too. And I thought,
The end was great.
yeah.
Surprise, great ending. I loved it, man. It's all right half as they're driving away, and it's like, hell yeah.
There was so much hate for it as well, man. I couldn't understand it because it's like you had practical effects, you had good gore, you had good kills, you had a good Leatherface.
You had Texas, you had a chainsaw, you had a massacre. What the fuck do you want, you know? The thing that happened with that movie is like, people are like, oh, this is so stupid. They're just doing the same fucking thing as 2018. And at the same breath, they're going like, why didn't they do the same fucking thing as 2018? They totally wasted Sally Hardesty. It's like,
right.
Get your fucking mind, weirdo.
I know.
How about now that Blumhouse has done this and a lot of people are pissed about Halloween Ends? How do you think that's going to affect the new Exorcist trilogy coming up? It's supposed to be a trilogy or something, I guess.
I think the first two movies are going to be pretty good, and that last one, ooh, I don't know. Also, I might skip the last one of the trilogy.
I'm a little worried now about it, man. I mean, at first I was like, yeah, but now it's just like, oh shit, because it's got the same director. I mean, I don't know who's writing, but I'm concerned. It's like they're doing the whole same thing over again. They're even bringing Ellen Burstyn in, kind of like they did with Jamie Lee Curtis. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The thing that's weird is throughout the first two movies, they really I felt like they tried to pay a lot of homage and to like the various callbacks and Easter eggs and whatnot. And, they were like throwing stuff in for the fans. It seemed like they were very conscious about who their audience was. And then by the third one, they're just like, fuck you guys. You wanted like a resolution to these first two movies? Let's talk about something else.
Right. I did love how they made Michael Myers badass in Halloween Kills, though. Man, he's got some of the best shit. Like he kept pulling the knives out of the knife rack and stabbing the guy. I fucking loved it. He's like,
I'll tell you, this trilogy was worth it just to watch James Drew Courtney be Michael Myers. That alone has made this trilogy worth it because he was, and it almost. I mean, I'm happy about it, but also a little sad that, obviously he's planning to kind of just, move on and stuff because he was amazing as Michael. He really was.
He was. I'm a big Nick Castle fan, but I have to admit, he really did his homework. He really did a great job.
He did.
They let him just go hog wild in Halloween Kills. And, he had a fucking killer time. He had.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the best lines in any Halloween movie is when he keeps pulling the knives out and stabbing them in the guy. And he's just like, I was like, yeah, that's my Michael.
Right.
Say what you will, but like 2018, a lot of people didn't like 2018. But they got Michael Myers. They got him right, dude. They made him fucking brutal and badass. And like that's what you got to do in Kill, same thing. I mean, James Stewart was great. By 3, he's just some fucking decrepit dude getting beat up by a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just such a fan of the original. I mean, I so religiously loved that original. Like, it was what brought me flying here today, to the point to where I'll admit to myself and everybody else that no matter what they did, it was not going to be good.
Hmm.
And that's what I have to come to. You know what I mean? And I cannot look at it hardly any other way. Halloween 2
Hmm.
captured it a little bit. It captured some of that vibe. But other
Yeah.
than that, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Halloween 4 that had a different. That's why I stay on that. Halloween Kills because he was badass in it. I'll give it that much. Other than that, I just think the whole trilogy just they did
Mm.
all kinds of things.
First two, I like quite a bit. I'm on board. Last
Yeah.
one is not a
I
good
wish my
resolution.
mother sister.
First two.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of
And it's-
unfortunate, but
yeah, it is, man, because it's like I would have rather had a second movie that wasn't hitting on all cylinders and then end it with a bang on the third movie,
landing, dude. Like
You got to stick the landing.
Put your fucking hands up, like signal to fucking coaches and shit.
And the thing that's really messed up, not to go into a rabbit trail, but David Gordon Green has been in interviews talking about how, he told Rowan Campbell, who played Corey, he said, people aren't going to be happy with what we're going to do in this movie and blah, 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 blah. And he was trying to prepare him, because he's a young actor. And it's like, well, dude, do that in the first or second movie, not in the finale.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, if you were Corey, I don't remember the actor's name, but if you were that dude, wouldn't you be like, why the fuck are you making a movie that the fans that you're making it for aren't going to like, dude? Like,
right.
I mean, I appreciate
you, but that dude did a good job. Give him his own movie. That would have been killer, I think.
I don't even think he did that great a job because, like, when he starts out, he's like a little bitch, and then like, the next thing you know, he's like a fucking badass biker, and he's got some like hot chick who's like all, fiery relationship, and I'm like,
that's script.
That character arc didn't track at all, dude. Like,
there's that screenplay stuff, though. You know what I mean? I was talking about the job that he did with what he had. The guy did. You know what I mean? They made it a weird mix, but the guy himself did well.
I mean, I guess, but they didn't give him that much enough to work with. You know what I mean? Like,
right. It was too much to do in one movie.
Yeah,
it was too much to do in one movie because you still had to have Jamie Lee Curtis doing her stuff. You still had Allison, and of course you have Michael. And it's like it was too much to do in one movie. What they should have is, if they had to have the Corey character, introduce him in the second movie. You know what I'm saying, and let him get some screen time and build the character, and then continue it in the third. That's what they should have done. It was too much to do in one movie.
Yeah, like why wasn't that her boyfriend from the first one? So that I believe their fucking relationship or some shit. Like,
right.
You didn't have to kill him
because they were totally devoted and all in love in like a couple of days, man. It was like
right.
She was all about him and fuck you, grandma, within like a day or two.
I know, right? But the grandma was like, okay, here, go fuck my granddaughter. Wait a second, you're evil. And then she was like, oh, but I love him so much. He's my soulmate. Let's run off. And like,
yeah.
Like,
it's all your fault, grandma. You've been the problem the whole time.
Right.
The whole family's crazier than hell.
And meanwhile, he's like, oh, well, I'm going to fuck you up by killing myself, lady. Because she's going to be pissed at you. And then it's like, but no, you literally left bodies. Like, there's no way in 14 hours that she's not going to think that you fucking were a piece of shit. And like,
right.
I didn't do shit to you. You know what I mean? Like,
Michael deserved to kill him. Michael should have killed him. You know what I mean? That's what should have happened. He should have pinned his ass to a door or something. You got to give that to at least Michael, because Michael didn't do much of nothing with that. Poor Michael. He was all limping around in the sewer and shit. Like, I was like,
but the other thing that was interesting is when they showed him do that first kill that Corey brought in, and he kind of seemed like he was getting rejuvenated, and it's like, okay. And I thought they were going to go down that road as far as Michael kind of coming back and then have a finale with Laurie. Even if he lost, even if he died, I would have been better with that than what we got. You know what I'm saying? Because they showed him coming back a little bit, but then it wasn't enough because he still got the mask taken from him. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the problem. They end kills with him being so badass that he can withstand an iron attack, right? I mean, that bitch had a fucking iron, and he was like, whatever. So he gets shot, beat, like all this shit. He's dead on the ground. And then he gets up, slaughters all these people.
Mhm.
You know, goes out, like kills her daughter, hangs out, and he's just upstairs chilling. And the next thing you know, he's like decrepit as fuck. Like, dude, you just, I mean, that doesn't even make any goddamn sense.
Yeah, you just fought 50 people. You got shot 8 times, pitchforked, stabbed in the neck, and it was like nothing, you know?
I mean, when I watched it, I watched 2018, I watched Kills, and then I watched that one all in a row. So for me, like 7 minutes ago, that bitch was a fucking badass, like whatever. And now, like 8 minutes later, he's like some fucking dude. And the dude who gets bullied by band kids is like, "Give me your mask, you fucking bitch." It's like, oh,
Yeah, he shoved him around and wrestled him down and took his mask. Like, damn, he's fucking bum rushing Michael. I never seen anybody treat Mike like that.
And you know what? Obviously, they needed him to get the mask, right? But if they had shot that scene different, like let's say he wanted to go get the
He's
mask,
killing somebody or something.
yeah, and let's say Michael was kicking his ass, and then Corey just got lucky and kind of pulled it off, and then ran out, got the fuck out of there. That would have been much better because it wouldn't have lessened Michael, you know, because people have taken the mask before, like Karen and Lindsay and even Laurie in the first movie. So that's not the thing. It's how he took that mask from Michael. I thought was just so disrespectful. It's like, come on, man. You know?
Also, that was the whole thing about Ends, is how it was done. Not what was done, how it was done.
Yes.
It didn't give any kind of justice to his legacy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That's
even with his legacy, like, you know, I mean, just it didn't, like, from the second movie to the last one, just didn't track at all.
It didn't.
Plus, the homeless dude was like, "Oh, he's been pulling people in there and killing them. Like, how come you came out?" You know, so
Right.
like he's been getting reinvigorated, whatever, this whole time.
Yeah,
Why
that's the thing. It's like,
guy pull up his shit and go somewhere else.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
He can be talked to death. You know what I mean? It's not going to make sense. You know what I mean? I've heard some people say that they absolutely love it, and I don't get that. Big Lori fans. It has to be big Lori Strode fans. For you to love it, that she has to be your favorite.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and I mean, there are fans that are fans that are like that, and I don't have an issue with it because I love the character too. But when I watch the movies, I'm looking at the whole thing, and like I said, man, when you can't stick the landing with all that stuff you set up in the first 2 movies, which I thought were pretty good movies, that's what frustrates me. It's like,
a really different thing.
And you did it. Like, it's like if it's not like you're trying to clean up someone else's mess. Like, oh, this is the best I could do. It's like you made. It's not even a mess. The first 2 movies were pretty compelling. You know, I was on board.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're just like, it's bizarre. It's bizarre, is how I would describe.
It is, and it does, and it's a well shot movie. The soundtrack is amazing. The acting is pretty good. The couple of gore scenes were pretty good. The couple times we saw James Drew Courtney was great. The Corey character was good in and of itself. You know, I didn't hate him like I thought I was going to. Like, and I was surprised about that. But just like you said, Ben, everything seemed rushed, and they were just making these left turns where they shouldn't have. And it's like, come on, guys. Allison was diminished, which that was kind of silly too.
They literally meet right at some and okay, there's a spark of chemistry or whatever that happens. People fall in love quickly, but then they go out dancing, and like on their first date, he's like blows up at her and says, "Fuck you, bitch, I'm outie," and then she's like, "Oh, but wait, I'm in love with you now." All of a sudden,
right.
I don't know.
She's reaching for something. You know what I mean? That's kind of like that. She's reaching for something. And Grandma reached in toward her, and she accepted it. And now she's pissed because Grandma's trying to take it away. I think that's what they were trying to tell us. They just did it in a quick, unorganized, not nearly as well written way. You know, and that's the problem. You know, the writing is the be all end all when it goes down to it. That has to be the beginning foundation. The screenplay, the writing, the script has to be solid, and it wasn't.
But there is like I'm saying, like they did reshoots or whatever, re-edits. Like, if there's a version where his story, his character arc is more complete, you know what I mean, and not just like start here, end up here, and go here. Like if that's done well, and then it's a totally different story. You know, like I don't have the
Right.
same issues I have with it. But
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Well, they
do. Go ahead.
no, they definitely did a lot of cutting. I think it's about. I think if I remember right, it's almost like 15 minutes is cut from it. That's a lot of time in a horror movie.
Hell
You know.
yeah. That's the difference between an hour 45 and an hour and a half type movie. And that movie
Yeah,
went over 2 hours, didn't it? Or about
it
2 hours.
did. Yeah, it was like an hour and 55 or hour and something like that. Yeah.
So that tells you
I,
right there they was trying to shove a lot of shit into one movie.
right, right.
So you got a 2 hour Halloween movie like that, it's
the worst part is like, look, if you have this whole story, I mean, this isn't just a 2 hour movie. This is like the fifth and sixth hour of a fucking trilogy. You know what I mean? It's like,
Hmm. Hmm. Well, originally they were going to have it all happen in one night. That's why in the extended cut of Kills, you see Laurie and Michael on the phone. She can hear him breathing, and she's like, "I'm coming for you, Michael." And they show her walking out of the hospital. Like originally, it was going to pick up right from there the same night, but then
sure.
while they were in lockdown and stuff, they decided to kind of pivot and change the story around and make it the 4 year gap, and then the Corey thing. And it's like, man, you guys trust your first instincts, man. You know?
it would
They
have
were trying
felt
to
nice
explain.
if it was just like, yeah, one incident. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
told over 3 movies would have been pretty epic, honestly.
I
I
think the 4 years why they were is how they were trying to explain why he was a little more decrepit. Like he had time to sit around and get even that much older and all the injuries to set into him. You know what I mean? And that's how they were trying to explain that. I think that's what the whole 4 years was about.
But I mean,
yeah.
honestly, like if you get shot like 4 times and beat, to fucking all, with an iron and shit, whatever. Like, I mean, there's no way that like four. I don't know. It just didn't make any sense. If you're just gonna get up and slaughter everyone after that,
Hmm.
They were reaching, they were trying. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
They were reaching. And
Yeah.
I worry about that new Exorcist, man. I hope to God, don't get me wrong, I hope to God it's good. But I worry so much about it, man. So much has been tried to be done over all these years of The Exorcist. Nothing has ever stacked up to the original all the way back to '73. So now
Right.
they're going to stick the Exorcist name on something else after where they've been with it, except for Exorcist 3. And it just worries me. I'm
I'll
afraid for it.
I'll tell you what. If it's good, if it's at least good, or if it's great, that's gonna be like one of the biggest like
come back.
victories of all time, man. Because it's like, holy crap, you were able to actually make a good Exorcist movie. Like to
Yeah,
me, that's a harder task than doing any of
totally,
these
man.
three Halloween movies.
That is the
You know?
hardest subgenre of horror there is to
Yeah.
do quickly, by
Yeah.
far. How many good ones has there been since the Exorcist?
Right. Right.
You could count them on one hand, or you know what I mean, on a couple of
Hmm.
fingers. There hasn't been that many, so we'll
Yep.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
also
appreciate you guys, man.
like,
Go ahead.
why does everything have to be a fucking trilogy that you direct, dude? Why don't you just make a goddamn movie and a sequel, or just a movie?
Yep.
Like why is
Just
that?
Right.
start with that, man. And if it works, then get your creative juices going, and then work on it. Don't plan a trilogy right off the bat when you haven't even seen if the first one's going to work.
Right.
I mean, to be honest, I think they didn't plan that trilogy off the bat. Like, there's
Yeah,
no
well,
way that they started filming 2018 and they're like, our end game is to have Corey. You know,
Right.
there's
Right.
right. That was hurried and rushed and put together all at the last minute. And let's stick it in 4 years. Let's see. They changed their mind all around. You know what I mean? That's why I think outside people had influences in there too. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Certain things written into their contract and shit. You know what I mean? That made certain things to where they had to be done this way. So they had to kind of write around that.
Hmm. Yep.
So it's all, yeah, exactly. Dollars.
Yep.
And, if people are going to hate it, why in the hell are you coming out with it?
yeah,
Yep.
I love that. Like you're preparing the whole cast. You're like, okay, everyone.
You're not going to like
like,
this movie, but go see
everyone's
it.
gonna say this sucks ass. Okay, people probably gonna try to kick you in the nuts after we do this, but
We don't like it either,
we're gonna
but
make
you
a
might.
I
We
tell
hate
you.
it. You're going to hate it. Go watch it.
Yep.
So you can judge exactly how much you can't stand it, and then you can talk about it and bitch about it for the next 10 years. It's like, all right, well, sure. Fuck it. I'll wait till it comes on stream and then I'll bitch and be heartbroken and pissed off for several days. I'll get on there. I'll bitch about it on social media. Me and my friends will talk about it on streams and then we'll go about our lives. Sure. Fuck it.
Hey, man, say what you will. I didn't see a single white horse in that bitch. I'm just
There you
saying.
go.
Hey,
There you
yeah,
go.
I didn't hear Michael Myers being all like,
Die.
my
Well,
mask back
you
for
went
you.
there with the white horse. You went there. I remember watching. I didn't see it at the theater. I remember sitting there going. The first time I said, "Okay, I can accept that." Fucking, it's just one of those things, right? And then it happened again, and then it was at the end, and going along with Nazareth's, what I mean, love hurts.
And I'm like, what is going on here? This is not Halloween.
Right. I liked Rob Zombie's first remake. I was on board for it.
The first one was, it was all right.
Yeah, it gave an explanation. I didn't care for Michael having an explanation, but it was a different thing, so I accepted it. So that's cool.
Yeah,
that was another one where you have a character arc where you have Michael start off as like just a goofy kid, right? And then like within a day he's a budding serial killer, and then he's a killer, and then he's like they didn't show his decline into pure evil enough. You know what I mean? If they're gonna start the story here, I wish I would have seen then we could see how Loomis is looking at him, staring at a wall, and being like, that kid's fucking insane. Fuck, he's evil.
You could tell he'd been going through some shit for a while with his stepdad and everything. You could tell that had been an ongoing thing. You know what I mean? He's up there cutting his rat. You know what I mean? His sister makes fun of him. His mom don't have to control the house. His dad's a piece of crap. It's just the whole place is just a complete, white trash nightmare. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's like, that's the way, that bugs me that he has to be white trash with everything, but
yeah,
I can kind of get it. He seems to think that all of us are just crap. I think Zombie does.
I mean, I think he's got like an aesthetic and a tone that he goes for. It's just he has this has his jam he does.
I still haven't seen his. I still haven't seen the Monsters yet, so I don't.
Me neither.
I will probably never see the Monsters. To be honest with you, I'm not. I like Rob Zombie, but I'm not. I just don't. There's so many fucking movies that I haven't seen Crimes of the Future. Like, why am I gonna watch the fucking Monsters? You know what I mean? Like, there's good shit.
The studio decided they was going to come out with it at the theater, and at the last minute, they decided they was not going to release it at the theater. They were just going to put it on streaming. So that scared the shit out of me right away. Eric and on the Bearded Losers did it, and they enjoyed it. Eric actually enjoyed it. Eric's a little different. You know what I mean? You can never tell what he's going to like. He's kind of like dealing with Mike from American Werewolf in Jersey.
Yeah,
it's a different kind of taste going. So that doesn't mean I would like it, but just sharing.
I get a sense like I kind of know what movies he's going to love and what he's not going to love. You know what I mean? Though, nonetheless,
Werewolf's a picky fan, man. You got to work overtime, please. Here,
dude, he hates The Howling. How does that work?
He hates The Howling.
He thinks The Howling's a bad movie, and he loves Silver Bullet.
Basically, if the movie's a bunch of fun, Werewolf's not gonna like it, man. He doesn't find the quality in those kind of films.
We watched we did Werewolves Within, which is a super fun movie, and he liked that one.
Oh, did he? You can never tell with him, man. I cannot get a pulse on what he is gonna do or what he's.
I mean, the way I look at it is, if a movie is done well, right, and you can have some enjoyment from it, then you're already working pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, not every movie is going to be TCM, or Halloween, especially if we're talking about horror, but that doesn't mean it has absolutely no worth, so to me, anyways.
Like he said, the original Halloween was an important movie, but he said it wasn't a masterpiece. Of course, me and him, of course, disagreed on that.
He hates. Well, he thinks the Suspiria remake is a far superior film to the original Suspiria.
See what I mean? You can't tell me him, man. I was like, what?
I don't think it's superior, obviously, but I think it may not. That movie sucked. I thought when I watched it, there's like not too many movies like that I watched and I go, wow, that felt pretentious. I like art house movies, and that one just felt like they were just like, I don't know, they just were like in love with themselves. They're like, we're so great that you're going to play 3 parts because you can. We don't. It doesn't make sense. Who cares? Like, you could do it. Let's do it. It'll be rad. And I'm
Yeah, I watched it once, and I don't remember too much about it. You know, I mean, I see
Right.
that one time. I don't remember too much about it, so that tells me all I need to know.
Right.
If I remember it, there's been a few of those. If I don't remember it, then. But you know, like I said, he's an odd fan, like his man. You can never tell what he's gonna like. But I mean, I respect his opinion. I respect his taste. He's, He's very interesting to work with, though. Very interesting. He's completely different.
And at least I feel like, you know, I mean, he has opinions, but I think he has them for reasons that he can talk about. So that's fine.
Yeah, that's all that counts, man. If you can back it up with how you look at it, then that's good, you know. Because some people they'll just say I like it, or they'll say I don't like it, and they can't really back it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's a good experience working with him. It really is. I've worked with him 3 or 4 times and done stuff with him. It's very interesting.
I have,
and Eric, I always love to do shit with Eric too.
I was streaming with someone, and they were like, they like notoriously hate Hereditary for some reason. Well, I mean, for no good reason, but they're like, if you ask them why, they say the acting is shitty. Like Toni Collette just does she's just way over the top. It's ridiculous, and I'm like, I think you may be one of the. You're like the one dude who feels that way. You know what I mean?
Right? Because that's the last thing I've ever heard is Toni Collette's performance not being good.
You know, I think like if you like it or not like it, that's a totally subjective thing. But this is objectively a well put together film. It's a good movie. I mean, you don't have to like it.
Doesn't that make it interesting when you're into somebody with that kind of opinion and you can talk about it with them? Doesn't that make it kind of interesting?
If they have things to say,
it really does.
If they have things to say, but if they're the reason, I didn't like it because it was
or just stupid. I didn't like it.
Like a piece of shit, you know. Like I didn't like it because it was dumb, and so like you know it was just stupid. So whatever.
So what was it you didn't like about it? I don't know. I just didn't like it. It's like, okay, that makes for a hell of a show.
I mean, that even just not liking it is valid, you know. But that doesn't make it shit. I know a few people that didn't like Hereditary. I think it's one of the best horror films of the last 20 years. But
yes,
absolutely. I think so too.
I'm going to show it to my youngest son, but I was just wondering, I was making sure he was old enough, you know what I mean? Because that movie's a trip.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm getting ready to. There's a couple of parts now I know that he's just going to be like I was with it. You know what I mean? It's definitely very cool.
Talking about like possession.
Like that too. Do I?
Talking about like possession movies. That's one. There you go.
Yeah. But that's done in such a different kind of way. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way you have to go nowadays. You can't go that same. You can't do that same shit of the girl on the bed type thing. You got to do something different.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to do that.
Ginger Ninja saying he still see Midsommar. I love Midsommar, but I understand that it's not for everyone. I think it's amazing. I loved it.
Absolutely. I thought so too, man.
I liked it. I found it kind of predictable in certain ways. It's all right.
I watched the first time I saw it in the theater, the director's cut. So like, and I was totally on board for like this 3-hour fucking movie. So I was like fully engaged the whole time.
Yep.
I've seen that movie. I don't know, maybe like 6 times. I've still only seen the theatrical version once.
Florence Pugh, man, jeez, she's good.
Well, I see Under the Skin a couple of months back. Finally, it'd been out for a while. I finally checked it out.
What'd you say?
Under the Skin.
Oh yeah,
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, that movie kind of left me with a fucked up feeling at the end. You know,
it's
when
creepy as
she
hell.
burned up and shit. I felt kind of weird after that.
Right.
I felt so bad for her. You know what I mean? I just, you know,
right.
So it definitely accomplished what it wanted to do. I was sitting there going, man, that's messed up. The whole time she was trying to figure out, trying to be a person, a human. And then the person comes out there and does all that shit to her. It's like, it's messed up.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. Like, I like weird art house horror movies, dude. But like, so how did I find the remakes of Suspiria to feel pretentious? You know what I mean? Like, I should have loved that movie. I was like, maybe that's the problem. I went in expecting a lot, but
How many times have you seen it? Just once?
just once, dude. That's why I need to give it another shot, because I think I was disappointed, but I think it's probably doesn't suck as bad as it does in my heart. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
How much do you like the original?
I love the original, but that's the thing. The original, like the story, if you just retell the story, girl downs academy witches, great. That's not the thing that makes that a masterpiece, you know? So like, it's like remaking The Fog. It's like, okay, pirates and fucking pirate ghosts.
Yeah.
But that's not the thing that makes it amazing. It's the atmosphere and the way this told. So
just the whole visuals, man, of Suspiria is with Italian horror. That's what I always say. Italian horror is an experience. You don't watch it, you experience Italian horror. It's a completely different thing, man. It's on its own level, and it's like comparing Fulci and Argento. You got to experience them both, but they're two completely different experiences at the same time.
Right.
It's like that's coming into a whole different world.
That's sort of how I felt about Terrifier 2. It reminded me of watching a Fulci movie, because it's like narratively not the greatest, movie ever, but like, if you just take it as a weird, surreal thing that's happening in front of you, it's like, I loved it, but
right.
It had a lot of really good points to it. Absolutely, it went some strange directions I didn't agree with, but I still enjoyed it. I ended up watching it a couple of times. If I watch it a couple of times, then I at least enjoyed it. Well, I so much appreciate you guys joining me on this, man. For a great, awesome movie, a top 3 for me anytime, any day of the week you ask me, that's going to be there.
I agree, man. It's a classic. It's a classic, and there's a reason for it.
Oh, yeah. I don't, no matter who I talk to, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say they disliked it as a horror fan. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, oh, well, that sucks, like they do with some movies. It's just a movie that you just can't say that about. And that's definitely one of them. It's just such a landmark. We would be in a completely different place today if it didn't exist. So I'm very grateful that it does. What do you guys got coming up?
Damn, I was drawing a blank. I'm gonna do some more action stuff, and I still got to finish up. We're finishing up Saw, going through the franchise, and that's really about it. And then just kind of seeing what comes next, type of thing,
Cool. Do you got anything going on, Ben?
I'm going to be making YouTube videos here in a second. Before the new year, I'm coming back. I swear to God. That was my New Year's resolution, so I only have a few months left to make this happen, Captain.
Show me the kick-ass media books, man, so I can get a really good view of it, man. I see on my Instagram, but I don't really get to see them up close and in depth.
Yeah, dude, I'm so far behind trying to document my collection. It's ridiculous. So I'm hoping to get back into making videos again.
Nice.
So that's going to happen probably this month, I think.
Very
I uploaded a video. I think it got like 12 views. So who knows? Who knows how it's going to go?
And that YouTube algorithm, man, it's crazy.
Oh, dude, I've never been like on the algorithm tip, dude. YouTube's like, fuck you, homie.
Right.
I finally developed an algorithm. I think I finally developed some sort of an algorithm. I think it might be happening a little bit now. Now that I'm a little more persistent, you know what I mean? And I got days I'm actually doing it. I guess that shit does count. I guess that does matter. So
it does, man. Unfortunately, I think well, I don't want to get into a big thing, but I just think, for smaller channels, like they should flip flop the way they do things, because smaller channels need the exposure. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And obviously, if you start having smaller channels become successful, well, that's just good for everybody, including YouTube. But that algorithm, man, like you said, if you don't stay consistent and like really like grind, you can't get any real traction unless you get lucky, which can
Yeah,
happen, you know. But
because
in our
nobody sees the
niche,
video. You know,
right?
it's
But
just not. You know,
yeah, but in our niche, talking about movies and collections and all that type of stuff, like you gotta just, you know, and it's too bad.
But I, at the same time, like, even I think, like, even if as soon as you get a sort of some semblance of like people watching your videos and you're watching people's videos and you get a sense of community, then it doesn't really matter. If your goal is not to like do this for a living, then it just doesn't even matter too much, you know.
Well, that's true too, right?
I know I'm never going to be big, but I'm going to be big enough. I'll probably top out. You know what I mean? 500 to 1,000. All is said and done is where I'll top out at. But that's cool with me. That's all I ask for. You know what I mean? Because I'm finally having a great time at it. I'm finally feeling it. I'm finally loose and having, you know what I mean? And just in the groove. And that's all that matters to me.
Yeah,
Coming to that realization is the greatest thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't worry about the number and shit anymore, and I don't take it personally if I don't get this many views on this. You know what I mean?
right.
That was such invigorating, just I don't know, freeing experience. It was almost like a I don't know, you know, like alcoholics have that moment of clarity. I had that moment of clarity as far as this goes. So, and I'm much happier now and having a better time and doing better shit. So,
Right.
and having fun with you guys, you know, doing videos and watch alongs, whatever, talking about awesome movies.
Yeah, this
So,
was a blast, you know.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I will be back tomorrow night with Steel. Like, as I said, we'll be doing The Brood, talking about a movie that's not for everybody, but it kicks ass in my book.
Mhm.
From 1979. So they'll be having at 11 o'clock. If you guys get a chance, stop in, say hello, all that kind of stuff, and watch along with us if you get a chance.
All
If
right.
you guys stick around with me for just a moment, I'll talk to you before we get off here.
Okay.
Thanks everybody for joining us. That has been for Cadaver Club. There's Night from Nightwatch Zone, and I am GoreAphobe. And remember, you are definitely not
Any of us.